All right. We live. It looks like. I gotta check on my phone to see. Ooh, that was almost messed up. All right, who's in the building with us? I see
What up,
Sizzler 10. Shout out to Sizzler 10 and Meet the Foster.
Okay, in the building.
All right, okay.
Arlette, salute.
Raven Kennedy, salute to you. And we got Arlette in the building.
All right.
We got Karma Serene.
LK, my brother LK in the building. I feel like we arrived.
I'm in the
Word.
Michael Buffar, what's good, brother?
JP, what's the word, JP? I see you.
All right. We got Gabriel Prague from Argentina. Shout out to Argentina.
In the building. Don't cry for me.
All right, we got Jeff Gurley from Nova Scotia. Salute.
That's what's up.
That's where George Dixon's from.
Shout out
the
to
boxer
Trinidad.
who invented shadow boxing and hitting the punching bag.
Let's clock from Trinidad.
Yeah.
Okay, Trinidad in the building. Salute to Trinidad.
No, you can't.
Oh, African Combat Sports. Salute to you, brother.
Oh, he's from India.
India.
Oh, yeah, India in the building. That's what's up.
Oh,
That's what's up.
Yo, we learned about this flag 2 weeks ago.
I can't really see it.
I can't really see it, yo. Look a little.
That's not Argentina, but it looked kind of like Argentina.
Was that Libya?
That's Libya, right?
Yeah, I think so. I
think that's Libya.
You know,
salute to Harlem.
We know all that always repping Harlem.
Yeah, I used to pitch my boy Kenji off with that. My boy Kenji's from Brooklyn. All he used to do was talk about Brooklyn. I'd be like, all you Brooklyn dudes wish you were from Harlem anyway. You remember Kenji?
Oh yeah. Yo, Katie, he said, "Gotta love G's GTA cosplay in the intro." That's a picture from undergrad. We used to, what was it called? GDIs versus Greeks.
Oh yeah.
It was like
you talking about the water gun?
You talking about that picture? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Listen. One of these days when Complex is on, I'm gonna have G and Complex tell you about their battle when we used to have water gun fights in undergrad. It was absolutely hilarious.
Wayne Hennessy, what's up, my brother? How you feeling?
Salute to Wayne Hennessy.
That's my guy. I see you
I'm working my way down, fellas. Yeah.
You already. My man Troy. What up, Troy? I see you, Troy. Yeah, we watching that fight tonight. We watching the Floyd fight.
Definitely. This is basically the pre-fight show.
You know what I mean?
What'd you say, G?
I'm just saying, my man was like, "Is it bad if G's my favorite boxing bro?" No, it is not.
No, that's not. There's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all. Not at all.
That just means you love my charisma. You feel me?
Paul Smith, what's up, Paul Smith? I see you.
Hit that like button, people. You know. We got another Team G. She's been day one. Let's get it. You know what I mean?
Whatever.
Hold
on. X-Men.
It's okay. It's okay. For those who turn their back on me, it's all good, yo. The door will not open again. Trust me.
Shout out to Ricardo, man, from London. I see you. Shout out to Pete also.
Yeah.
Goddess Warrior, I see you.
All right.
Dublin, Ireland in the building. What's up?
Oh, shoot, yes. Yeah. Definitely smash that like button, people. We appreciate it. You know what I mean?
All right, we building up. We building up. We can get it popping whenever, I guess.
All right. So first,
we just do a pop-up. Like, we don't schedule it. We just say, hey man, it'd probably be better to go live today. They got Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather and those fights. So we want to watch that, and we figure it would be good to get to everyone early So let's go live. And so bang, the decision was made.
Let the dogs out, word. Hey, learn something new every day.
Yeah. I've been to Trinidad, actually. I've been to Trinidad and Tobago.
But did you know that that's who let the dogs out came from?
That's what I'm saying. I just read that. You know what I mean? Hey. You know, you
learn new every day.
Shout out to the Baja man, yo.
What's up, NDS 11?
What's up?
All right, so are y'all ready to get into the first topic?
Let's go.
We might as well.
Troy, a real one, man. You missed his comment up above, man, but he said we're so dope. But Troy, we think you dope for rocking with us.
Oh man,
Troy also did this, so we're gonna get into that a little later. But like we said, we don't like to feel like we're charging people to kick it with us, and we don't want people to give us something for nothing. So we have things in the works for super chats, and you'll find out more about that. Michael Buffalo is asking the same thing. You guys do. You know, maybe we should just dive into it right now, fellas.
Now, before we get into the topics, actually.
Yeah. So you want to explain it, G? You want me to explain it? What you want to do?
Go. I think you do a better job. You know.
Well, basically, we don't want people to
take
feel
your
like
money.
What you say now?
Said we don't want to take your money. We don't want to just we kicking it with y'all. This is Boxer Bros community. We kicking it with y'all. We don't want to take nothing from y'all, man. This is our, you know what I'm saying? And on top of that, we don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, we started this kick for our love of boxing. And we started rocking with y'all. Y'all been our day one. Some of y'all been with us since our first video. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want to take y'all money and just, you know what I'm saying? If y'all gonna give us money, we want to give y'all something. You dig what I'm saying? But go ahead, brother.
No, absolutely. And so one of the things that we were discussing was when we get back together, for example, and we start recording together, if we need something, then we may put a super chat out for that. Say super chat for us to get microphones, super chat for us to get like a camera, or if there's a fight and we want to go cover the fight, we'll open up a super chat so you can donate for like us to go to the fight or whatever. But we don't just want to take your money for nothing. Like, that's just not the way we get down. It's like we don't do this to take your money. We don't do this for approval. We don't do this for whatever. We just do it because we love the sport of boxing. That's really why we do it. So that's why we don't ask for super chats. So, all right, we can dive in.
All right, so next topic. Actually, I just realized we didn't even do the intro. We didn't introduce ourselves.
That's right. All right, you are now tuned into the Boxing Bros. I'm Caden. I'm here with my co-host.
What's going on, man? It's the commissioner, $12 bill, keeping it real. And as you can see, I just want to say happy birthday to my man G.
Oh,
happy birthday, G.
Oh, yes, man. G had his birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, G.
You're lucky I forgot when I saw you, cuz.
Yeah. Bring it up in the gym, G was talking about.
He was moving kind of light.
Yo, G was talking a little crazy yesterday, but yo, it slipped my mind. It was his birthday, yo. His birthday just passed. I would have tagged you up yesterday.
See my own son disrespected G. You know,
watch your mouth.
You try to hit your own dad. It's crazy. This is G, Ned's father. What's going on? You know what I mean?
What's up, world? It's the TBE, baby. You know, let's get it.
All right. So, first topic. The boy's big. You know what I mean? Logan Paul outweighs Floyd Mayweather by 34.5 pounds.
Yeah, so Logan Paul outweighs Floyd Mayweather by 34.5 pounds. And so the question we want to know is basically, does that change your mind on who's going to win the fight tonight? I'll start this one off with you, Trill Dollar Bill. Does that change your mind on who's going to win the fight?
I was watching a documentary on Komodo dragons. And the Komodo dragon, right? For real, look, you're going to love this one. The Komodo dragon, you'll see like a big deer or whatever, you want to call it. It'd be bigger than him, or hippo, or whatever, rhino. What the Komodo dragon would do, since it's so small, right? It'll run up to him real fast with a speed, right? Bite him. And then will follow the large prey and wait for their venom from their bite, the poison from their bite, to slow them down and then weaken them and make them fall to the ground. And that's when they get on top of them and they gonna eat them. That's what Floyd is. He's the Komodo dragon. Doesn't matter how big Logan Paul is. He gonna sting them and keep stinging them, and then later on, he gonna drop them and get them out of there.
After the venom kicks in. So Floyd's gonna be that Komodo dragon. See, now you just got, you got two things. You got my boxing prediction, and you got a lesson on Komodo dragons. Where else on the boxing bros? You know what I'm saying? Right, Trill, we appreciate that. G.
Yeah, I'm being honest. That doesn't phase my decision at all. Like, I believe even if he came in 50 pounds heavier than Floyd, it wasn't going to really make a difference. He's too slow. Like he's too slow. He may be stronger, maybe taller, but Floyd is just, man, that man is just athletically gifted, and he's just smarter in the ring. We've seen Logan Paul struggle against what's the dude named KSI twice. Bro, if you're struggling with KSI, you're not going to do anything to a Floyd Mayweather. So, and not to mention, I'm pretty sure Floyd has several training camps where he brings in heavier guys, just to anticipate the power of his opponents. So, I'm not really fazed by Logan Paul coming in 35 pounds heavier. It sounds cute, but I don't think it's going to change the outcome of this fight at all.
All right, TBE.
Man, it's gonna do exactly nothing. I think this is Logan Paul. Man, Floyd gonna beat that boy. He's gonna beat that boy badly. That's all I'm gonna say. The weight has nothing to do with anything. The other day, they posted Logan Paul's like training, hitting the pad, mid-works and things. He was throwing straight on uppercuts. I'm just like, he's food. He's food, yo. So I don't see it doing anything for that. At this point, Logan Paul is gonna need like his brother in there, maybe some more people from whatever his crew, just to jump. They're gonna have to jump Floyd Mayweather in that ring, for him to win.
I mean, if you told me that Logan Paul was a skilled boxer, that weight would matter. But again, you're talking about someone who I don't necessarily know has the technique to throw a punch that would actually hurt Floyd. And Ned alluded to it. I saw him hitting the mitts, and it kind of looked like arm punches. The technique didn't look that good. There are certain things you can do to make things look good during training, but in the ring, is he actually going to be able to put a glove on Floyd? I don't think so. Now, with that being said, the narrative that's being spun is father time. Floyd is old. And if you look at Logan Paul, he came in shape. On the scales, Logan Paul was in monster shape. So if he lands a punch on Floyd, could he hurt Floyd? Absolutely. But I think it's going to be difficult. He doesn't have the speed. I don't know if he has the technique, the accuracy. Again, that's what people who are picking him are banking on, and there's a lot of people picking him. But at the end of the day, I see Floyd avoiding him early and just picking his spots, pot shotting him early. And then once Logan Paul starts to fade, I think Floyd's going to jump in there and go for the knockout. It doesn't change my opinion because even with the 34-pound weight advantage, I don't think Logan Paul has the skills to use that weight advantage to his advantage against someone like Floyd Mayweather. So it doesn't change my mind. I still think Floyd stops him whenever Floyd decides he wants to stop him.
Oh, somebody made a good point, Travis. Size only matters if the skills are equal.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's go to that next topic. My man Ocho is back. The undercard. So Chad OchoCinco Johnson versus Brian Maxwell predictions, fellas.
Chad OchoCinco versus Brian Maxwell. And we want to give a salute to OchoCinco's daughter, who is a serious track star at the age of 15. She may make it to the Olympics one day, so salute to her. Kaspira G, man, who do you think is going to win this fight? You know, Brian Maxwell is an MMA fighter and a bare knuckle boxer. So what are your thoughts on this fight?
Yo, this was tough, man. I might have to go with Brian Maxwell. No disrespect to him, but if you ain't never really trained in combat sports, this isn't one of those things you can just pick up. You know, it's not football at all. So on this one, you know what, man? I mean, I'm going with Ocho, man. I don't care. Like, hey, man, he might surprise us, man.
Yo, G, you just flip-flopped on yourself with no,
hey, man,
with no help, no anything. You just flip-flopped yourself.
Yo, fights like this don't count. It's like flip a coin and whatever lands, man. That's how I'm gonna go with. But yeah, I'm gonna go with OchoCinco on this one. Man. It's nothing.
All right, dollar bill.
I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't have a dog in this fight, but you know, man, I gotta go with my man OchoCinco, man. Chad. Even though Chad gonna lose, man, I don't. Does this even? I don't know, man. Listen, why not, man? Go ahead. Why not, Chad? Poor Chad. Chad need a win, man. Chad need a win.
I think TBE is feeling a little differently. Let me throw it to TBE. What you got to say, TBE?
Man, I think Chad might go. I know somebody just mentioned it. I think Chad's gonna be the laugh of the night, man. So it's like I think I'm picking Chad to lose. And I hope not, but I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be an entertaining fight, though. That's all I'm predicting. I'm looking through the guys. I haven't seen no footage of him training, so I don't know what he looks like. So I don't don't know what to predict.
Chad gonna bust him with the windmill in that fight. He gonna hit him with the windmill in that fight. He ain't gonna be.
Oh man!
You know, the guy he's fighting isn't necessarily a world beater, but he is a professional fighter, more fighting experience than Chad. Conventional wisdom tells me that Maxwell is going to beat Chad, but I have a dog in this fight. I'm a fan of the National Football League. I love football. Been watching football my whole life. I played football, of course, American football. So for me, I gotta go with Chad, man, because I'm gonna be rooting for Chad, and so I want Chad to win. I want OchoCinco to win because that's my guy. So I'm picking OchoCinco. I'm going to ride or die with my man OchoCinco, and most likely I'm going to die. But if I don't,
well, at least this upcoming fight that we're about to talk about is actually a real boxing match. So next up, we got Jarret Hurd versus Luis Arias. I believe that's how you say his last name. Mm-hmm. Homeboy who fought Daniel Jacobs. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I want to give a salute to Jarret Hurd's nieces, who are superstars, Lyric and Melody. If you haven't seen Jarret Hurd's nieces, you should check them out. Lyric, she's a model, she's an actor, she's his little niece, just amazing. And his other niece, Melody, who's in a show on Prime that's pretty interesting, and she does a great job. So Jarret Hurd, salute to your nieces, man. They might end up being the biggest stars in your family if you lose this fight. I'm gonna turn it over to Trill Dollar Bill. Who you got in this fight?
I got Hurd. I think Hurd is gonna come out and do his thing, and then he's gonna ask for Charlo next. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is a showcase for Jarret Hurd. Hopefully he can put on a good show.
Conspiracy G.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah, so he's moving up. Yo, man, this is tough, man. The only reason why it's tough, he is moving up, and Jarret Hurd ain't the most sound when it comes to boxing technique, but he is a dog in the ring. But you know what? Nah, man, I gotta go with Lewis only because I do remember the Daniel Jacobs fight, and even though he got punished in there, he brought the action, and I feel like he's more athletically sound when it comes to boxing than Jarret Hurd. You know what I mean? And if Jarret Hurd's moving up in a weight class, I don't know how his skill set would fare up against these guys. So yeah, I'm going with Lewis on this one, regrettably, but I feel like Jarrett's gonna lose.
TBE.
No, I think Jarret might. I think I'm picking Jarret to win this fight, and that's because I think he's the better fighter. I just feel if Jarret comes in, Jarret has this like intimidation factor. Like if he comes in fighting, not dictating the fight, not controlling the ring, not like using his skill set to outbox Lewis, then Jarret will lose to himself. But I got Hurd beating Lewis tonight.
Yeah, so the question with Jarret Hurd is what weight class? And I honestly don't know. Here's the thing. Jarret Hurd gained a lot of weight during quarantine. If you go back, you'll see he was probably at like 190, 200 pounds. And he had to work really hard to get back down to fighting weight. He weighed in at 158, but that's in between kind of 154 and 160. So I don't know if his intent is to fight at 160 or if he's going to try to get back to 154. I do know he weighed in at 158, so that would suggest that this fight's going to be at middleweight. Doesn't mean he can't get back down to 154. I know he's been working out with Terence Crawford. He's been running and in the gym with Terence Crawford, so he's probably had a good camp. And I think that Jarret Hurd is going to win this fight. I think this is a fight to get Jarret Hurd back in the swing of things. I think Luis is going to put up a decent effort, but at the end of the day, I don't think he hits hard enough. I don't think he's strong enough. I think, if you look at his Andy Laura, what happened with him was he just got tired of punching Jarret Hurd. And I think when all is said and done, at some point, Jarret Hurd is going to stop Luis probably in the later rounds. So I think Jarret Hurd by stoppage in this fight.
Mm-hmm. All right, the next fight we got our homie Badou Jack. And he got his replacement, man. Poor Pascal. Cheating ass. But anyways. Hurd and Colina. So predictions, fellas. Badou Jack versus
John Pascal tested positive for fourth banned substance, everybody. EPO. So now it's 4 banned substances for Jean Pascal. So Badou Jack and Dervin Colina. Who you got, G?
Oh, I mean, I got Badou Jack because I don't even know the other homies. So, you know what I mean? But salute to you, though, player. Hopefully you do good. I just don't know you. So I'm going with my man's Badou. And Badou needs to get this victory, man, after what my countryman done did to him, man. So it's beyond disrespectful, man. I'm trying to find Mr. T's comment. Hold on. Once I find it, man, I'm gonna put it up. Because I knew he was gonna talk about this fight. There you go. You know what I mean? Injectables only.
Hello. My man took 4 injectables and claimed he didn't know what was going in his body.
He blamed his mysterious strength and conditioning coach. Like, come on, fam.
Fired himself. Either that or his strength and conditioning coach was Jarrell Miller. So
it was Jarrell. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh man, yo, Haiti, y'all gotta do better, man. Yo, this is crazy, man. Like, Yo, Ned.
I blame G for this.
Nah, blame Ned. Ned looked like
I ain't do anything, yo. I had nothing to do with it.
I'm just saying. Talk to your countrymen over here, bro.
Shame on him.
They ain't looking.
I'll put it up. So Jordan Richards said that BoxRec says his replacement is 15-0 with 13 knockouts. Now, did you review the people he fought? And did you review their record to see what they were looking like? So Trill Dollar Bill.
People should check this.
Yo, that's how they did him. They said, hey, listen, they said, Pascal, all the great fighters take a lot of naps. But Pascal was sleeping. They shot him. Yo, Dollar Bill.
Oh, man.
Dollar Bill, it's on you, brother.
Badou Jack. Badou Jack by stoppage.
That's it, my brother.
That's it.
You ain't got nothing to say for the people, Dollar Bill? It's just that simple, huh? I know it's really that simple, but I'm just... All right, well,
Pascal ain't American, he's Canadian. Get it right. I'm just saying, you know.
All right, Ned.
Man, I looked up Dervin's resume, and he hasn't had a 12-round fight. So for him to go step in and fight Badou Jack for 12 rounds to replace Pascal, Badou Jack by knockout. Shout out to Colina for selling you a 0, and being an easy step in or taking this quick step in fight and sacrificing yourself. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Shame on you, Pascal.
All right, so after receiving the news, I figured let's just look this up. As you can see, he's 15-0, 13 knockouts. But let's examine these knockouts. So these are the guys he's knocking out. A guy with 7 losses, 2 guys in their pro debut, a guy with 8 losses, no wins, a guy with 9 losses, 2 wins, 2 guys making their debut. Oh, he knocked out another guy who was undefeated 11-0. But if I click on that name, I'm pretty sure that guy wasn't fighting good opposition. A guy with looks like a split decision victory over a guy with 17 losses. So you see that right there. Split decision victory against a guy with 17 losses. Then after that, he fought a guy who was 2-2. So yeah, this is how records can be deceiving.
Yeah, he looking like my man Badou Jack eating Colombian steak, bro. This is easy work.
But Badou Jack is mad. And listen, Badou Jack is a guy who's been robbed in fights that I've watched. Badou Jack is the man who was about to get redemption. I guess you could say some Wilder type redemption against Jean Pascal, and then Jean Pascal popped positive for more PEDs than Big Baby Miller.
Great.
So when you get all that man just moaning and moaning and moaning, might make your head go pop. You know what I'm saying? So I think Badou Jack's gonna go in there and finish this guy probably inside of 6 rounds. I expect Badou Jack to knock him out in impressive fashion. And, salute to the homie for taking this fight on short notice. But at the end of the day, I do believe that he's food, with all due respect. But I like him, though.
I'm not about. Oh, Pascal had the nerve to wear that shirt, man. The nerve of him, man. It's crazy. All right, so now we got that the Mayweather Logan Paul thing undercard out the way.
We got it out the way. All right.
Yeah, so now we got some heavyweight topics to discuss. All right, first one is Deontay Wilder still insists that Tyson Fury cheated to beat him.
Yeah. Give me a second to cue that up.
Pascal's nutritionist was banned from Batman the animated series. Oh man,
Jean Pascal's hilarious. All right, everyone. So here's what Deontay Wilder had to say.
He has come out. He said he owns you. He has your soul. It's gonna be, a walk in the park for him. What are your thoughts on that?
We'll see if he keep that same energy when that time comes. All this right here is just for me. That's all that is. We know what happened. He know what happened. Come on.
Does that piss you off, though, Deontay, when he says all that stuff?
No, it don't. No, it don't. It can't. Why would it? Why would it? Because whatever happens come to 24th, then that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? I'm very confident in what I'm gonna do. Look, they couldn't even knock me out even under that juju. I was under some juice. They couldn't even knock me out. They couldn't even keep me down. Like I said, it took a disloyal trainer to throw the towel in. And the crazy shit about it already, when I had Mark, everybody said I should get rid of him. But when I got rid of him, he was the best thing that happened to me. But we already know what that did. I don't have the complexion for the protection, and I love it. I love it because it gives me a more challenging life in this world. I got thick skin. I've been raised. I'm from Alabama, baby. I've been had thick skin and all the shit that goes on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very aware and in tune with what goes on, and that brings power to me. I love it. You know what I mean? To get all the criticism and whatever people think. When I look around and I think things over, I see all my good days. I weigh my bad days. That allow me not to complain, baby. You know what I'm saying? Because I know half of the people in the world have never, ever achieved just a small little bit of what I've done. And that's power for me. I don't get mad about what people say or get frustrated about what he's talking about because that's just nervous talk to me. We know he don't have no power. We know he can't. He gave me the best of him in that ring, and I took it all. I knew what was going on with my body. I felt it when the mask came off. I knew something was wrong with me. I knew I was not right. Mm-hmm. The people that was looking in, even the people at the top looking at the screen knew something was wrong with me. I wasn't doing the same thing. I was looking drained, drowsy. I knew it. I could have went back to my corner and said, yo, I don't feel right. I don't think I should fight. But I accepted the challenge. I accepted what was going to happen. I was like, oh, shit, here you go. That bell, ding. Let's go. Let's go. That's the warrior mentality of me. That's the warrior mindset. And I tell everybody, don't worry about my health. Don't worry about my children. Because at the end of the day, something happened to me, you motherfuckers ain't going to do nothing for my kids. Let's be real. Let's be honest. It's good to be optimistic. It's good to be.
I mean, Wilder's pretty long-winded, but you get the gist of it. Basically, he's saying still that he was cheated. You know what was going on. He's not going into details, but he's alluding to the fact that he was cheated by his trainer. He was cheated by Fury, yada, yada, yada. So with that being said, I'm going to turn this over to Trill Dollar Bill. What's your reaction to Wilder still insisting that Fury cheated to beat him?
He needs anything to keep the fire. To keep the fire, whatever you need to keep the fire. You know what I'm saying? Even if he didn't believe it, he needs something to keep the fire. I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? The fight's gonna happen. When there was a possibility that the fight was gonna happen, he was like, whatever. But shoot, everybody needs a little tackling fuel. And if he want to use this as his tackling fuel, shout out to Bobby Boucher. If he want to use this as his tackling fuel, then why not? You know what I'm saying? I can't hate on the boy. If he believes this madness, go ahead and believe the madness. But hey, I ain't mad at him. If he believes it, he believes it.
I'm gonna turn this one over to Conspiracy.
All right, man. All right, listen. Yes.
Y'all just say stay 10 toes, bruh.
10 toes, brother.
Say 10 toes.
Say 10
Yo,
toes.
what you say? You want to show him the real G? Show him the real
Show him the real
G.
G.
Show him the real
Show
G.
him the
This is
real
your
G.
opportunity.
Show him the real G out here.
It sounds like Ned want to speak. Ned, you want to go?
Nah, I'll let you go
ahead.
first.
Go ahead, Ned.
I'll go. I'll take it.
Go ahead.
Man, Wilder still insists Fury cheated. It's because Wilder ain't got no leverage in this next fight, man. Like Trill says, it's just fire. He's just trying to use something to fuel the fire inside of him because he knows he ain't got no type of Fury's not scared of him. So at this point, if Wilder, this is the route Wilder wants to take, it's gonna be the most entertaining press conference I think I've ever seen in a long time. But all these, I don't agree with none of these excuses. I just think the moment was so big for Wilder that he had either an anxiety attack, a panic attack right before he walked his ring walk, and that's why he was not in his fight. That's why he was not in his fight, and that's why he said, as soon as the bell rang, he had to get right into it because he wasn't mentally prepared when he was walking to the ring. He was dealing with so many out factors. Like, I don't know. I never had a panic attack, but that's why he wasn't ready. That's why he wasn't ready. But the moment was just too big for him. Go ahead, G. Now talk your mess. Talk your mess.
You know what, yo, Ned?
Nah. Talk about how you said the Mega Man suit, man.
I'm about to, bro. But just relax.
Yo, give him a chance, though, Ned. Hey, I'm with you, Ned, but you gotta give him a chance.
You're supposed to give the person the rope before they.
I know, right?
All right, Lee. Let me say this. Obviously, I'm the Wilder fan of the Boxing Bros, so I already know this video was gonna put me in a terrible situation. But however, I'll say this. I'm a fan of Wilder in the ring. Anything outside the ring, that's where Wilder and I part ways. So I'm not co-signing a lot of these things like this whole I was under some juju. What else he said? The complexion for the protection. And this is the one thing I was like, all right, Wilder, now you're just bugging. He still is claiming Tyson Fury has no power. Bro, I don't understand how a guy that has no power drop you that many times in that rematch. So that's where I'm like, yo, I can't co-sign that. But he did say something that goes into my conspiracy theory. He said, I felt it when I took off my mask, right? I was like, yo, that Mega Man costume was too heavy for this dude, man. And I believe that. In addition to what Ned's saying, because I remember right before the fight, they kept showing Wilder pacing back and forth in the locker room, just kept pacing, kept walking around. He seemed extremely nervous. Tyson Fury was chilling on the couch, just like it was nothing, like Tyson Fury was that confident. While Wilder had a lot of nervous energy. So I think the nervous energy, in addition to the Mega Man costume, by the time he got to that ring, he was already fatigued. He fatigued himself because the moment was just too big. So that's what I honestly believe, man. And to me, Wilder and a lot of Wilder supporters, I'll say Wildettes too. Like when they're talking about the cheating thing, the only time that you could really see them having somewhat of a good argument is when they reference the first fight, but never the second fight. I'm still waiting on evidence about this poisoned water or the egg weight in the glove. I can't remember the other excuses, but these excuses are so extreme that it's yo, Wilder, bro, if you're gonna make these claims, you gotta back it up with some form of evidence. So far, I haven't heard any, and so from what my eyes seen, I have to believe it was the Mega Man costume and it was his nerves that beat him on that day.
Yeah, dog, but you already went. See, this is the thing with Deontay Wilder, and this is what people don't understand. I originally rooted for Deontay Wilder in the beginning when there were heavyweights, other heavyweights that they were saying was going to be better than Deontay Wilder, like Seth Mitchell. I picked Wilder over Seth Mitchell. This was at a time when Conspiracy G was with Seth Mitchell. And then he left Seth, and then he went with Stavern, and now he's with Wilder, but cool. But at that time, I predicted that Wilder would beat all those guys. And he did that. But that was the Deontay Wilder who was fighting for his daughter with spinal bifida. That was the Deontay Wilder that was humble. That was the Deontay Wilder who seemed like he was really hungry to prove himself. But after Wilder started beating these guys and knocking them out with the right hand, I started to see him rely more heavily on the right hand and not work on his boxing skills. And I said to everyone then, if this dude doesn't improve on his boxing skills, when he fights another heavyweight who's talented, who believes in himself, who comes in the ring to win, they're going to beat Deontay Wilder. Everyone said, well, not everyone, but the Deontay Wilder fans said, all he needs is the right hand. All he need to do is land the right hand. Even he started to believe it. They got to be perfect for 12 rounds. I only got to be perfect for 2 seconds. And he's still saying that. But Wilder, if you really believe that, why are you training now doing things that you've never done before? Why are you doing the things now at the age of 35 that I was asking you to start doing since you won the title in 2015? You see, and this is what I get back to. People want to say that you're hating on a person, or people want to say that you're being unfair to a person. But in actuality, when all things were equal, when there were a few American heavyweights that were out there, I picked Wilder from the beginning. Trill picked Wilder from the beginning. But it was when we watch him regress, we watch him stop using the jab and just rely on the right hand. And you want me to say that's going to be the Tyson Fury? I can't say that because I know how good Tyson Fury is, right? So now here goes another situation where I like some of what Wilder's doing, but then I don't like some of what Wilder's doing. Here's what I like about what Wilder's doing. Wilder's actually training. I see him working on things. I see him working on hooks. I see him working on jabs to the body. I see him working on footwork. I like those things. Wilder is saying he wants revenge. I like that. He's actually excited for the trilogy. I like that. Here's what I don't like. I was cheated. Y'all know I'm not going to get into it. There was a juju on me. See, just when you do things I like, you do something that makes me say, what the hell are you talking about? And then I see they say he's 10 times more talented than Muhammad Ali. The guy who hangs up on my wall, he's 10 times more talented than him. The only fighter that hangs up on my wall. You're going to say that with a straight face. Look at the quality of opponents that Muhammad Ali has beaten in his career compared to Deontay Wilder. On the biggest stage, in the biggest fight of Deontay Wilder's career, his corner threw in the towel. His corner threw in the towel. So that can't be erased. When it comes to Deontay Wilder, he undoes his good. Yes, you were a warrior, Wilder. Yes, you went out like a warrior. Yes, I was highly impressed with you. And then you blamed it on the suit. You blamed it on poison water. You blamed it on egg weights. You blamed it on the ref. Hell, you probably would have blamed it on alcohol if you could. You know? So at the end of the day, all I'm saying is, when it comes to Deontay Wilder, he does things that I like. He does things that I don't like. It makes it really hard for me to get behind him. And in this case, I like the fact that he is having a trilogy. I like he said he did more. Oh my God. See, I can't. He said he did more for his community than Deontay Wilder said he did more for his community than Muhammad Ali. You see what I'm saying?
That's
and then the Wild Dets of the world will really get behind that. You know, no one has ever done what Muhammad Ali has done. Muhammad Ali gave up the prime years of his career to make a statement. The prime earning years of his career, the prime physical years of his career, he stood on principle that changed the world. You want to talk about one of you'll probably never see anything like it. Look at Muhammad Ali's funeral. I still haven't seen one as big as that. Look at Muhammad Ali's funeral. Look at the diversity. Look at the people. Look at from all different backgrounds, not just race, but careers, genders, everything. What Muhammad Ali meant to this world will probably never, ever be duplicated. And this is what I'm talking about. You got a small faction of people who run around comparing this guy to Muhammad Ali. You're automatically going to turn off a large group of the population. So, anyways, just to move on from this, I think Wilder has already lost. If he's going to go in there with this mentality that he was cheated and Fury, because what you're thinking is all the ways you can be different, and you're not expecting for Tyson Fury to be the same or even better. And if you don't think that same Fury or even a better Fury is going to walk into that ring, you're already in trouble.
Yeah, and I just want to add, Irish boxing, bro. I'm not saying Tyson Fury didn't win fair and square. Tyson Fury won that fight. Wilder entered the ring and lost. So that victory goes to Tyson Fury. I'm just saying from my observation, it did look kind of weird the way he came in the ring. Once he took off the helmet, he was sweating. He looked already fatigued. So, but I'm not going to take that away from Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury definitely won that fight. So I just wanted to make that clear. I wasn't trying to belittle Tyson Fury's victory in any way. Go ahead, Ned.
I just want to say this. You know how they always say, like, when you're in a relationship and then your significant other starts accusing you of cheating out of nowhere, then that just means they might be cheating. So I'm just pointing this out. Maybe Wilder was the one with the loaded gloves his entire career. Maybe Wilder was the one using egg weights. Maybe Wilder was out here using skeptic and unruled behaviors and things of that nature. I'm just saying, the one who smelt it dealt it, and I'm just that's it.
I man went to 4th grade.
That's it. That's it. Wilder, we out on you. I'm gonna be reviewing your fights now. We might have another audit, yo. We might have another audit.
Here's what I'm gonna say, like this, right? So I pointed this out to G before about Wilder never being in a fight of the magnitude of the one he was going to be in with Fury. And you're right, G. You pointed out something to me that I do think took away his legs, all the pacing before the fight. But you were okay with it. I remember during that time you were like, "Look at him pacing. He's about to take Fury's head off." And I said to you, G, that's nervous energy. That's bad when someone's pacing around, bro. I've never paced around. When I'm supremely confident, I'm sitting down. Plus, you're wasting your legs. He did all that pacing, which you're saying he had COVID-19, right? You can't do all the pacing he was doing with COVID-19. This man walked in the arena with his Thriller jacket on, with his lady. Then he was in the locker room, pacing all around the locker room, right? And then he got into the ring. Meanwhile, you look at he walked to the ring in the Mega Man suit. Tyson Fury's being carried to the ring. Levels. You understand what I'm saying? And so this is what I would say to the Wildettes of the world and G and all the people who want to believe in Wilder. What do you think that nervous energy is going to disappear on the day of the trilogy? You just think all of a sudden he's going to be a calm man? No, that dude is going to be ishing bricks because all the talk is done. You really got to step in that ring. And here's what I'm going to tell you. If he hits Fury with a few right hands like he did in that second fight and Fury walks through him like he did in that second fight, Wilder's going to get stopped before 7 rounds. Trust me on that.
Hey, man, listen. Wilder, I'm with you, bro. I'm going in. When we do our predictions, I'm jumping all out of a window. No parachute. You know what I'm saying? Praying I'm going to land like that cat that jumped out of that like 34, whatever.
Burning building?
Yeah, that burning building. Yo, Wilder, I'm the black cat jumping out of a burning building for you, bro.
We know that.
Don't do me dirty, bro. Like, yo, Wilder, man, listen. I've been going hard for you, son, these past couple of just yesterday.
Pause.
I thought these dudes going to jump me in the gym. So I'm just saying, don't do me greasy out here.
I was going to jump you in the gym, G. Stop. G, why you always putting these lies like people going to jump you, man?
They're going to jump me in the gym, people. I was like, damn, just because I said, wow. I accidentally slipped Wilder's name out my mouth. And they looked at me like, yo, I'll smack you right now. I'm like, damn, man. Like, I'm just trying to show the brothers some love, some words of encouragement. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were like, yo, G, watch your mouth. They pointing fingers at me.
Now, you see how he's doing this? Now, you know someone, like, see, this is what I'm talking about. Dudes are funny. G will come here and make himself seem like the victim. G was talking all kinds of reckless at the gym.
Release the clip, yo. That's all I gotta say.
Yo, Trill got it recorded too.
No, Trill ain't got that recorded.
This dude G
Release
was
the
talking
clip.
all kinds of greasy. Yo, G made a bet with me for $100 that Wilder was gonna beat Fury. He made a bet with Ned.
No, that wasn't the bet. The bet was, the bet was.
I know what my bet was. My bet was that Fury. So let me just tell you, my bet was that Fury's going to stop Wilder before 7 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's how confident I am. I don't even need a win. I believe 100% that Fury's going to stop Wilder before 7 rounds. So I made that bet because that's how confident I am. I made that bet to show you how confident I am. And I put $100 on it. Then you bet Ned. But my point is, this is how reckless G was yesterday. G was talking so reckless out of his mind yesterday to everyone about Wilder. We were all looking around like, so G, you must believe Glovegate. You must believe yo.
No, I don't believe no Glovegate. You know what I'm saying?
I don't understand. I don't understand how G. Hold on, this is what makes me laugh about everyone. I don't understand how G talking nonsense to every single one of us, and then all of us checking G is us ganging up on G.
You see, I can have an opinion.
No, you can have an opinion.
You know what I mean?
G doesn't just have an opinion. G comes at you with his opinion, talking greasy, like talking reckless to the point where it's like G's talking like Wilder didn't get knocked out in the second fight. G's talking like, oh, we're all crazy for thinking Fury's gonna G's a madman. So G gets what he gets.
You know what I mean?
G gets what he gets.
I say Wilder one time, these dudes get the guillotine out. They're like, yo, put your head in it. You know what I mean? I'm like, come on, fellas. I just have an opinion. That's all. I'm just saying.
Right, G. Yo, Trill, dog, release that tape.
Remember, Rachel? This dude punched me in my nose one time. I said, yo,
dog, we were sparring, bro.
You know what I mean? He thanos my nose. I was like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yo, y'all are right, man.
Just
y'all
I'm
are
a Wilder fan.
Yo, hold up.
It's crazy. I'm just
Jesus, different breed, yo.
G, you know what, G? That's right. Get your sympathy in order now, because after Wilder gets knocked out again, you're gonna need it. Because I'm not coming here to wave no white flag.
Hey, listen,
you know what I'm saying?
I told y'all, win, lose, or draw, I'm still showing up. So it is what it is.
You see this?
You know what I'm stupid, yo. Y'all are stupid. Yo.
Hashtag G2.
That's funny. That's
Oh, man. Yo, all right, man. What's the next topic, man? Y'all are horrible, man. All right, hold on. Man, Wilder, why you doing this to me, man?
Hey, man.
Wilder's trying to commit a legal homicide.
Hey, man, at least if he wins, man, you get to come in here.
Oh, sorry. No, I told y'all what I'm going to do. So, you know, man.
Oh, yeah. So now you're admitting you was talking smack.
Yo, listen. Listen. You going up against 3 brothers.
Thank you.
Defend yourself. You feel me? So when I said, all right, yo, 10 toes down, chest out. We going all in, you know? So, hey, I'm keep my same energy. My predictions is going to be live. So win, lose, or draw afterwards. Hey, listen, if y'all want to violate me, go ahead. I'm hoping I'm going to violate y'all. So it is what it is. It's what it is.
Yo, man, we might have to tell that story about G in the car. We might have to try that. So that people can understand who G is.
Hey, if Ned wants to tell the story, I can tell it.
No, the way you going to tell it and the way it actually is.
Listen, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Yo, it's just sad when your own brothers. Yo, they just want your demise, yo. They prey on your downfall. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man, yo.
G, you a clown, man.
You crazy, bro. You crazy.
Man, I'm just saying.
All right, we gonna go to the next video, man. We done with G's pity party. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
All right. All right, so here it is right here.
In a mean streak that I am hearing from you that I've never seen before. And this is going back to when you fought Luis Ortiz, Stavern the second time when things got contentious there. And we all know what happened in that fight with Stavern the second time at Barclays Center. But do you feel meaner and, just more, prone to just go out and dish out punishment compared to any other time in your career because of what's gone on over these past 17 months?
My mind is very violent. Just like Malik said, we built a whole facility to commit a legal homicide. And that's just what it is. My mind is very violent at this moment in time, and I can't wait. When you contemplating and premeditating about harming a man, and when you see that person, what you've been thinking and what you be feeling, it will come out. The only thing about it is, at that point in time, I have to wait till I get in the ring to really release, because I couldn't do it on the outside. It'll be defeating the purpose.
Release.
And, the baby's got to eat. But when I do get them in that ring, this is what I love about it. I'm able to release everything I've been feeling, everything I've been thinking, and get paid for doing it. I love boxing. This is, I love this sport. Their best chance I think their better chance was earlier in the years, in the Julys and the Octobers and the stuff like that. If they wanted to come and try to get me, but they allowed me to heal up 1,000%. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about every little bit of thing that was wrong with me, I got it done. You know what I'm saying? I got it taken care of. Like I said, I got a whole center for rehabbing, and I got A1 doctors. I got a whole great team. You know what I'm saying? And it's been amazing. I've been getting a proper sleep as well. And it's been good. It's been good. At this point in time, I'm very, very, very dangerous. And they're going to say, he got a lot. See, at this point in time, one of the most dangerous people to be around, Ray, is the ones that don't have nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? Be around.
You're coming in free. You're coming in totally free and relaxed.
All right. So, you heard it. He's training for a legal homicide. But what I like about this video is he admits he's 1,000% healed. He's healed. He has the best doctors. He has everything. And so I don't want to hear any excuses. I don't want to hear the flu, the COVID, the this, the that. He's 100% according to him. He just said that. So now I'm going to turn this over to Dollar Bill, who seems like he's rejoined the group. What was your reaction to what Deontay Wilder had to say?
See, just when I was going to fall back today, I had other business to attend, because y'all brothers,
business, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all brothers know, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let it be known later, but the brothers know we got a big surprise going on, and I was delegating delegations with the delegators, you know what I'm saying? And I was letting y'all rock. But the commissioner got to step in. I don't care what you got to say. I even showed you love. I don't care what you got to say or believe. I don't care what you got to believe to get yourself up for the fight.
Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it.
You know what I'm saying? I get mad when my head popped up when I heard him say he want to catch a legal homicide. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that in this sport that I love. I want to hear you say that you're going to kick his butt, you're going to do this, that, and the third, you're going to get revenge. I feel all that. But once you talking about taking another man's life in this sport that I love so much, that we done seen so many other boxers' career get ended, people get hurt, people... You know, I go all out on people who cheat and everything else. You gonna say this shit? You gonna excuse me? You gonna say this right after the whole catch your body in the ring thing? You gonna say this right now? You gonna say this again? The last time you said that, you got your behind whooped. You're gonna bring that same energy. You're gonna bring that same energy, and then if something's gonna happen to you, I don't want to see it happen to you, champ. Stop bringing up that type of energy. That's some sucker. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. I'm not for that type of energy. I think Wilder, you need to step back a little bit. That was another thing that made me not like you. I'm cool with all the other stuff. I'm cool with the antics, the yelling, bomb squad. I like all that. I love the energy. I love the passion. I love all that. But then you take it to another step further. And I can't rock with you, man. I can't rock with that type of trash talking. You can diss him all day. You can diss him all day. But that's just one thing I can't get behind. I don't care who you are. Even if Floyd ever say nothing stupid like that, I'll be done. Pacquiao, anybody. They ever say they would never disrespect the sport like that. That's just another level. They wouldn't do that. Kaden told y'all about Max Bear. How when he caught him, he was devastated. People try to present it to be a different way in the movie, but he was really devastated, and he was a sweet guy in real life. I ended up reading about him. This is hurtful and it is distasteful. And it has no place in this sport that I love. That's all I'm saying. And just for that reason alone, now I don't want nothing bad to happen to you, but you speak it, when you speak bad things like that, bad things tend to happen to you. It's real talk. I used to run around there with guns, right? And it will bring negative energy to me. Because this was my lifestyle, because this is what I was doing. It's real talk. You get back what you put out. This is how the universe works. I'm sorry, but this is how the universe works, and I hate that he had to say that. Because I was gonna build up this fake love thing, like I was gonna do this thing. I was gonna root for Wilder in this just to make it exciting. But he just messed me up right there. He really did. He just really messed me up right there. Especially all the research and everything I've been writing, because we're gonna be doing some new things. So I've been reading about all these other poor fighters who died, who hurt. They got hurt so bad in the ring. And for you to say this in the most dangerous sport, bro, I'm done. Yo, you're out of pocket. That's all I'm gonna say. He's out of pocket, bro. He just woke me up. He woke me up. But he's out of pocket. That's all I gotta say.
Now you heard Dollar Bill. He's out of pocket. I'm gonna turn it over to Ned the TBE. What you gotta say, brother? You on mute, brother. You can't tell you on mute.
Ah, man, I forgot. Just like I don't want to.
Hold on, bro. I gotta say something though. Hold on. Ernest Terry. There are a lot of other fighters who don't say that. You saw Anthony Joshua when they asked Anthony Joshua about would you want to catch a body in the ring. Anthony Joshua was like, "Why would I want to kill somebody's son?"
Exactly.
Like, yo, come on, man. You can be a fighter. There are a lot of other fighters who would never say anything like that. Real fighters wouldn't say that, bro.
They wouldn't.
You can be a fighter. You don't gotta say that.
I didn't even see the comments, man, but I think he was just caught off the moment, I guess. Guess he didn't want me to have a heart attack.
All right, TV.
Nah, I think all of this is just BS and like just talk. Like it's just Wilder trying to talk himself up. Like I feel like Wilder it's sad that he still is still thinking like this, even though he sounds ridiculous. He sounds ridiculous as hell. Everything he's saying, like, oh, when you just in your head and you got so many dark thoughts, and then you get in the ring, you can let it out. It's like, wow, to stop it, man. At this point, focus on boxing. Focus on how you're gonna focus on how Fury's training. Watch a few tapes on. Well, there's not the only thing you can watch is how Fury beat him up. So Wilder, just keep training. Shut your mouth because everything you spew is nonsense. And at this, I just good riddance. Once you lose, good riddance, bro. It's like I'm tired of it. Like, yo, we don't have to deal with G for a little bit till he finds his next train wreck. But yeah, good riddance, yo. Once this fight's over,
G's really gonna be on to the next one after that. All right, G, you up?
All right, listen. I agree 1,000% with Trill on this one, man. And I remember when Claressa had that T-Rex documentary, and I remember it was like her PR person was like, "Yo, you can't talk about wanting to kill somebody in the ring. Like, corporations and sponsors don't want to get behind stuff like that." And at the time, she just couldn't. It just didn't register. Like, she was like, "Yo, why not? Like, that's what I want to do." And I'm like, do you really want to do that? Or is that like a selling point that you think boxing fans want to hear? And so I've always been against it. It's still holding you for push-ups and facts, Ned. Nah, Ned owe me money. So Ned gonna pay me money. That's what I want from Ned. But
he still owe push-ups too, though.
Oh, well, Ned gonna give me whatever, in blood. Now I'm playing. The
real G almost came out on y'all. The real G almost came out on y'all.
It was a wilder joke. It was but anyway,
go back, G. Go back to being.
Let me try to be fair and balanced here. So, so when he said, I remember this was before the rematch when Wilder said, he would die before throwing in the towel, right? And then in the rematch, his corner saved his life because they threw in the towel. And so that's why I agree with what Trill is saying. Like, when you put out that negative energy, negativity comes to you. So to me, it's like, bro, boxing is still a sport. It's still a gentleman's sport. Yeah, you're going in there to knock the guy out or to win. But at the end of the day, you don't want to wish death upon another man who has a family, who has maybe even have children. We don't want that for Tyson Fury. I want Wilder to win. I don't want Wilder to kill Tyson Fury. Like, sometimes it's like I be thinking like with Wilder, he speaks in a lot of like parables and he kind of like a weird dude. That's why some I think like two people were saying in the comments, he talks kind of like a preacher. I don't really know if that's true.
His dad's a preacher,
but it kind of makes sense to me, right? But then at the same time, I'm like, maybe he got punched too many times in the face, so that's why, again, I'm a fan of Wilder in the ring. Outside the ring, man, it's like, yo, Wilder, God bless you, bro. Just stay away from the cameras, But he did say something, though, in that clip that I actually agree with. And he said he has nothing to lose, right? To me, I feel like Wilder's at rock bottom. Like, I don't know if you get any lower than this because you lost, you got humiliated, you got embarrassed. So to me, I think him going into this ring is like, yo, you know what? Everyone is counting me out. So there's nothing for me but to beat you, And I don't want to say if Wilder loses that he's done with boxing. I don't believe that. Like, he could still make millions of dollars in the sport, even if he gets beat up again by Tyson Fury. But I think he's going in that fight with that type of energy that, yo, I got nothing else to lose. So I'm giving it my all in this fight, which it depends, because he could be saying this stuff and mean it at this moment. But what happens when you're under those lights and that bell rings? Does the rematch kick in? And you're like, yo, this dude really rocked me. He really had my eardrum bleeding. So I don't know. Like, sometimes when people talk, they're talking, but what you're going to do at that very moment, that's what I want to see. But I will say this, he has to stop talking about murder and homicides and all of that stuff. And I'm going to say for all boxers, just chill out. It's one thing to kind of, if it's like a metaphor, but if it sounds like you're really trying to do it, it's like, why, bro? They got kids, they got family, they got a mother. And sometimes you just got to fall back, man. So that's why I said I agree 1,000% with Trill on this one.
All right, so I think everyone went. All right. This is a lot to unpack. First, like this notion that Wilder has nothing to lose. Like he has everything to lose. Like this guy fired Mark Brillin, said Mark Brillin poisoned his water, accused Tyson Fury of loading his gloves and doing all types of stuff. He's doubling down on it, even in this interview here that you just listened to. And in addition to that, he's talking about how he's out for revenge. He's going to get blood. Still, he says Tyson Fury has no power. In that same interview, after Tyson Fury beat him so badly, his corner threw in the towel, but people still want to push this narrative that he has nothing to lose. He has a lot to lose. How about credibility? This is the fight where you actually get to prove to the people who believe it that your fight, the second fight, you lost because of cheating from Brillin, from Fury, from the athletic commission, from everything. So Fury, so Wilder's, oh, it's under a microscope now. They're really going to be checking his gloves. So now if they're really checking his gloves and you get the brakes beat off you again, that looks bad for you. See, what happens is, you know, the era of invincibility is gone from Wilder, and he's trying to get it back. So what he's trying to do is create this narrative that I didn't lose. There was all these factors going against me, and that's why I took the L. Another thing I see people saying, oh, people said they're going to kill people before. Wilder hasn't just said it once. He said it on multiple occasions. You know, there's a video that was made by the Boxing Bros. It's a brilliant one. It's called Making the Bronze Bomber. You should watch it. See how many times this guy said, I really want to catch a body in a ring. And people try to give him an out like, you don't really mean that. No, I really do. I really do. Several times, bro. Don't tell me other people have said it. There's ways you say it in which you're like saying it like, yo, I'm going to kill this dude, or like, I'm going to murder him. Like, you know, poetic expression, as G likes to call it.
It's true.
But then there's a difference between doubling down and making it seem like that's what you want to do. Like your objective is to kill someone. Example. He said he built a facility designed to commit legal homicide. See what I'm saying? It's like I created a facility designed to commit legal homicide. After saying you want a body, it's not just talk. It's not just poetic expression. It's more like bad intent. The issue with Deontay Wilder for me is this. I genuinely don't believe that he's that type of person. I'm not buying it. I don't believe he's that guy. I saw how he reacted when he knocked out Arthur Spilka. I saw how he reacted when he knocked out Dominic Breazeale. And this was someone he had bad blood with. He had bad blood with Dominic Breazeale. And after he knocked out Dominic Breazeale, he could have buried him. Like literally, like not like buried him like literally, but he could have buried him figuratively. He could have buried him in terms of like putting him down. Like, see, I told everyone he was a bum. I told everyone I was going to roast him. Instead, what did he say? He said it takes a real man to come out here and get knocked out in front of the world. He picked them back up. That's why I don't believe him when he says he wants to catch a body in the ring. That's why I don't believe him when he says that. So why do you keep saying it? Is the question. Like, so for me, he's saying it to like build himself up, but it's turning people off. And again, this brings up the point that I was making when I say Wilder does a lot of things I like, but then he turns around, he does other things. Again, I point out, I see someone saying Iron Mike used to say it, not to the degree that this guy does it. Iron Mike would say it as poetic expression. And even then, I don't recall Iron Mike ever saying it. Someone got to show me that. Because I've watched so many things with Iron Mike. I've watched all Iron Mike's fights. I don't remember Iron Mike saying he wants to kill somebody in the ring.
I've heard him say he wanted to rape a guy. He wanted to kill children.
I've never heard. So that person, put the link in here. You got time. We got more topics. So don't just say someone used to say it. Show me. That's why I hate when people do that. Everybody says someone say something. Show me, bro. Like, yo, you can do that. Put the link in here where Tyson said he wanted to kill someone. I guarantee you, I can show you on multiple occasions, different outfits, different locations, different interviews where Wilder keeps saying he wants to catch a body in the ring. And then people try to give him an out, and he keeps saying it. Like, even on the Breakfast Club, he made everyone uncomfortable, and they're like, "Nah, you don't really know. I really do. I really do." But my thing is, like, it would be something else. Say, well, as followers, even as fans, wishing people. Yeah, like that's the point I'm getting at. It makes it difficult to like someone like that. For me, as someone who loves the sport of boxing, so here you got a guy who isn't really technically sound, who doesn't believe in training, who just wants to rely on the right hand, who wants to go for knockouts, doesn't care about skill. Then he wants to kill people in the ring. Then he finally gets beat. He blames it on every possible person he could blame it on, literally. You know what I'm saying? And now he's sitting there talking about there's no pressure on him. There's pressure on you. There's pressure on you because if you lose, who you going to blame next time? There's pressure on Malik. Malik, who you going to blame it on? Because you know Malik, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So you go in that ring and he gets battered again, he's blaming you. Brillin, you're the new Brillin. He's blaming you. He's blaming everyone else. He's never going to blame himself because there's no accountability there. He's showing you this right now. So Malik, in his first fight as a trainer, is going to be on the biggest stage, training for the first time. JD's, well, he wouldn't dare blame JD's. JD's still in his camp, according to him. So, anyways, just to get back to the main point. I don't want to hear that other fighters have said they want to commit. You got to show me. I've never seen it, especially not to this degree that Wilder does it. And so for me, when you say that, don't be surprised when people want to see you get knocked out. Don't be surprised when people root against you. Don't be surprised when people are happy to see you beaten bloody because you made those type of statements about other people. So what goes around comes around. And I remember this statement from Deontay Wilder when they were face to face. And it's on one of the videos we put up. He was talking all this stuff about how he was anointed by God and all this. I'm anointed by God. And Tyson Fury said, I don't need someone to come into my body and possess me to win fights. I don't need nothing but the Lord above. And then Deontay Wilder claimed that he was the one anointed by God. And Deontay Wilder said this to Tyson Fury. It's your God versus my God. That's what he said. He said, it's your God versus my God. Mm-hmm. And then you got stopped badly. And now you're claiming all this stuff. So again, why would you put that type of energy out there, Deontay Wilder? Doesn't make any sense to me. But at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. But all this to me is just a testament that Deontay Wilder is still weak mentally and he still hasn't gotten over it.
Oh, man. All right, let's go into man. Wilder dances around the question about Anthony Joshua.
Yes.
It's been good.
Hold on a second. All right.
Go ahead and you gain your revenge on July 24th. Is then the focus Anthony Joshua?
You asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you. I'm like, you go ahead and you do what you do to Tyson Fury, what you have in your mind, and that's violence. Is the next fight that a matchup potentially against Anthony Joshua? Or is all the focus here on Fury?
I mean, my focus is definitely on Fury, but is after the fight, I'm very confident what I'm going to do. I'm strongly confident in what I'm about to do. They gave me the all. They can't even get me. They couldn't get me out of there when I was under conditions and stuff like that. How the hell you gonna be a full, healthy Deontay Wilder? You know what I'm saying? But once I get finished with Fury, because like I said, I want that back in the blood, right in that ring. Once I do that, then of course y'all already know what I want, man. But as I'm hearing, they already making up excuses. You know we're gonna hear. You know we're gonna hear about mandatories and all that other bullshit, man. But I want them to keep that same energy. They tried to make the Fury fight So I mean, shit. He said it ain't about the man. It's about the person that with the belt, right?
Yeah.
All right, then we're gonna hold their word to that. That's all.
In a perfect world, how does this fight, in your mind?
That was his answer. He was asked if he wanted Anthony Joshua next, and he went all around the world to never say flat out, I want Anthony Joshua next. So, Conspiracy G, do you feel like Deontay Wilder? Oh, all right, go ahead, Nate, before
I just want to ask G, is this shit king? Is this shit king?
Now, G, I'm going to ask you fairly. Do you feel like Deontay Wilder danced around the question of does he want to fight Anthony Joshua next?
I'm going to say yes. However, I kind of felt like maybe that question caught him off guard. That's why it seemed kind of awkward, you know.
Yo, D, how can that question catch you off guard, bro?
Because his mindset is just locked in on Tyson Fury. So when they asked him about AJ, he just, you know, he went into full Wilder mode. I don't know, man. Yo, listen, I'm a fan of Wilder in the ring. Y'all keep coming at me like I'm in Wilder's mind, bro. I don't know, man. I've been said this. Like, he's not the most articulate. His IQ isn't the highest. I'm just saying, man. You know, outside the ring, I look at Wilder kind of like how y'all look at him. Just in the ring, I'm rooting for the brother. So, hey, man, this is tough, man. I'm just gonna say this. He did kind of say he wants it because he implied keep that same energy the way y'all wanted to make the Fury fight. So, you know, process elimination, he's pretty much saying, yo, y'all better cut me that big check so I can get a fight with you, AJ. That's how I'm looking at it. But however, he went around to get to that location as opposed to just going straight. Yeah, after I beat Tyson Fury, I want Anthony Joshua. So I don't know, man. It's tough, man. Hey.
I respect you, G. Shout out to you.
I didn't agree with you. The spirit of complex is in you. You know what I mean?
Real dollar bill.
He dances around those. I'm gonna give him an out. He's worried about the task in front of him. That's why he moonwalked across that question, because he's not focused about AJ. He's focused on the guy in front of him.
All right. Well, Trill is giving him the benefit of the doubt. Ned the TBE.
I would have given him that. But it looked like
he didn't use that one. G should have used that one. You know what I'm saying?
I don't agree with it, but
hey, yeah, I'm just saying he don't want that smoke. But what I was saying is he should have said, you know, I'm just focused on the one that's in front of me. You know what I'm saying?
Could have said that, but he didn't. You know, I think that's why I said
that would have been.
But I think
even still, I would have said he danced. I still would have said he danced.
He was moonwalking. He was moonwalking.
It looked like that AJ's name gave him chills, yo. It's like, ooh, it's like the boogeyman, like, cause the way he like he shook up and froze when he heard it, like and then started laughing. It looked like your man is scared, yo. He don't want no parts of Anthony Joshua. And when that it was brought up, are you gonna call out AJ? It's just all these excuses. More excuses came from like, oh, they're gonna start saying he gotta fight mandatory. They're gonna start acting a fool. They're gonna start doing things. It sounds like I said earlier, those who smell it dealt it, and Wilder's gonna take his belt and just fight all the bums he can until he can retire, because he does not want to fight. He does not want to go down by the hands of Anthony Joshua. You know. So, but he had it out. He could have said he's just focused on the guy in front of him. But hey, we're all human, right, G?
Here's my issue. Here's my issue with his answer and why I said he danced. He already threw in an excuse as to why, if he wins, the fight won't happen with AJ. He's already talking about his mandatories and whatever. And so keep that same energy, right? All he said in more words, it would have taken less words to say, I'm focused on Fury, but after Fury, definitely. It would have taken less words. That's why he danced. He could have said, I'm focused on Tyson Fury. After Tyson Fury, I want Undisputed. He didn't even have to mention his name. Instead, he did all this stuff to say, "Oh well, I feel like he's already talking about mandatories, and they try to make the fight with Fury, right? Well, it's with the guy with the belt, right? We'll keep that same energy, right? It's just kind of like, damn, bro. All he asked you was, do you want AJ next? He didn't ask you for all this other stuff. All you had to say was yes or no, right?" Before that, Wilder was so confident he was going to beat Fury. Remember this. Before that, he said Fury cheated. He's in the best shape he's ever been in. He feels even better now. He's doing all this stuff, right? And so then he's confident he's going to beat Tyson Fury. So, okay, you're confident you're going to beat Fury. So after you do that, do you want Joshua next? And now all of a sudden, it goes into stutter mode. It goes into circle mode. But, just say you're focused on Tyson. He danced. Of course he danced. He danced. And everyone knows that he danced. The answer was simple. After Tyson Fury, I want Undisputed. That's it. Because even if he felt like Usyk was going to beat him, then still say, I want Undisputed. And he could say that. I want Undisputed. I don't care if it's Joshua. I don't care if it's Usyk. His answer implied he wanted no problems with that Nigerian boy from the UK. That's what it is. I'm just saying, man, this makes Andy Ruiz shoot up to the top for me. Because Andy Ruiz stepped in last minute to get some bread, and he put off a shocker. And even with what Andy Ruiz has done, these guys still seem like they don't want to step in the ring with Joshua. They'll say everything they want about Joshua from the comfort of their home or from the comfort of their seat. But when they get the opportunity to step in the ring with Joshua, they won't take it. And I'll close with this. Why would Joshua not want to make the Undisputed fight when he's the one who actually sent you, who actually sat down with you, met with you, and offered you a deal? He's done that. Al Heyman and Shelly Finkel haven't done that for him. His fans are still hyped off of something that was sent on Instagram. So, I mean, at the end of the day, when all is said and done, for me, like, there's no doubt he danced around the question because the answer was simple. After Tyson Fury, I want Undisputed. Whoever has the belts, that's who I want. It was that simple. But instead, he danced. So, yes, he danced 100%.
Yo, salute to you, Bo Dollar, man. I've been looking at your comments, man. But what's your issue? So I guess he's mad at us because we're not.
I just got a question for you, G. Why would you salute this dude who's been saying disrespectful things to all of us? Why would you even highlight this dude?
I'm trying to understand, like, he's going back and forth with everybody. So I'm trying to understand what is the issue that you're having with what we're saying, because he's not really saying it. I'll debate respectfully.
Why would you even entertain him is my question.
I'm just kidding. Everybody's responding to him. So I was just curious, like, what's the issue? But it is what it is, man. But salute to you, bro.
I can't even. Please, y'all, about the real. I've been real. Look at what y'all.
I don't even know. I wasn't even paying attention.
Honestly, I've been seeing this dude say disrespectful stuff to.
I wasn't even looking at the camera.
I wouldn't even highlight this dude. I wouldn't even acknowledge this dude. This dude isn't even worth my time. So even if he said something, I wouldn't even respond to him. So he should just leave now. Like, that's how I feel. So I don't even know why you would highlight the clown.
Yeah.
Bo Dollar, your name should be No Dollar because that's what you got. No dollars. Like, let's keep it moving.
Right. Go to the next topic is
bro. Scared. What do I look like, a fourth grader? Bounce.
Not been disrespectful. As soon as you call somebody clowns out their name, you being disrespectful. Like, what do you not understand about that?
I'm just saying I don't know what goes. I don't know why G would highlight that. That just don't make no sense to me. But
I was just curious what was his issue.
Who cares what his issue is? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what his issue is. If he got an issue, he don't got to be here.
Yeah. So Errol Spence says he wants TC next.
All right. I'm throwing my hands up. I don't want no problems with the TC fans. This is just a quote. So yeah, I've been being nice. I was ignoring them. G highlighted them. I wasn't even going to say nothing to the dude. I was just going to let him beg for attention in the comment section. All right, so
yeah, facts, D-Pog. I didn't even see the comments, so I'm like, but I don't know, but it's cool. Mm-hmm.
Well, but he be on some clown too.
All right, so this is an article from The Zone. It says Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Crawford. Spence prepared to move on or prepared to move up and wait if the fight can't be agreed. And so I go down to the quote. He says, "Once I get that belt, like I told Al Heyman, I want that fight with Terence Crawford." Spence said when speaking with an interview with Barbershop Conversations. But if it don't happen, I'll probably just move up. So Errol Spence said to Barbershop Conversations that he wants to fight with Terence Crawford. He's told Al Heyman that already, but if the fight doesn't happen, he'll just move on. So, Trodal Bill, what's your reaction to what Errol Spence had to say?
That's what's up. You know, he's just gonna have to. He was trying to. Earl just trying to grab all the belts. Now I'm not mad at Earl. He said because I heard that the WBA, the WBO, and I know the WBA, the IBF, and the WBC will be on the line when they step in the ring, right? So you know if Bud still has that belt, and I'm sure Bud is thinking about leaving over there, you know. So hopefully they can make that fight happen. I know TC. I know Earl won all the belts, so the only one that got the other belt is TC. Kudos to Earl trying to make it happen. I believe it will happen once TC leaves Top Ring. No beef to Bob, but I just don't see TC fighting any of those guys until he leaves Top Ring, and he's gonna sign with Al. Probably have a fight before the Earl fight, and then you know. They do it up big.
All right, Conspiracy G.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised by this news. Like, once he gets Pacquiao's belt, there's only one belt left. So he's going to try to go for undisputed. You know, we know that TC's contract is up this year. So, you know, hopefully they could negotiate something. Maybe TC goes to PBC and they can make this undisputed match if he gets through Pacquiao. And then if not, it makes sense for Earl to move up to 154. Like, why not? You know, like everybody pretty much in the welterweight division always goes up to 154. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't see what I don't really see what the real purpose of this article, because it's kind of like a no-brainer. It's almost like a you know what I mean? Like once I seen him get that Pacquiao fight, and it seems like Ugas, they just doing my man greasy. I already know what time it is. They're going to fight for those belts and then undisputed with TC. And that, it is what it is. And if TC doesn't want to have that fight with Errol Spence, and Errol Spence is moving up to 154. It's just that's it.
All right, TBE.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you right here. But I think, like, if he can't get that TC fight, I think he would give Ugas a shot. But Ugas getting screwed out with this one. But Earl, I see people saying Earl, they both ducking each other. I don't see how Spence is ducking. Spence is trying to make good fights happen. I just see Spence saying he wants TC next after Pacquiao. Of course, that's what it is. He wants undisputed. He wants the belts. TC is the only one only side of the party that doesn't seem like he's trying to make anything happen. He's not trying to be reasonable with the negotiations, and he's not trying to be understanding at all. So, but at this point, Earl, focus on. Don't even worry about TC. You got Pac-Man in front of you. Yo. You got. That's a big fight. Everybody is not really But it's a big fight. I'm not even going to say what I was going to say. It's a big fight, and everybody should be excited for this. Shouldn't even be worried about TC right now. TC be worried about who he's going to fight next because TC ain't really got nobody in front of him. And, yeah, so if Errol duck and he's fighting Pacquiao, what does that make TC? You know, a squirrel? A squirrel? You know, so, you know. All right.
This is the era of undisputed.
I'll let.
Thought about it. This
Goodbye.
is like the era of undisputed.
Look, man, when it comes to TC, see, this is another thing. I was with TC. I was riding with TC. I like TC. And then TC re-signed with Bob, and I said, why did he do that? So that was the first thing that made me say, okay, why did TC sign with Bob again? But I'm like, okay, maybe he wants to be loyal to the guy who helped build his career, and they're going to figure out a way to make the fight happen. But then now there's beef between him and Bob, and he's not happy with Bob, and Bob said, I'm not. So then I'm thinking, like, what the heck is going on? Then TC comes out and says, I don't want to fight this guy. I want to fight Pacquiao. So they try to make the Pacquiao fight happen, but then he's not happy with the Pacquiao money, right? And then the Errol Spence fight, he's not happy with the split for the Spence fight. So now you have Pacquiao and Spence about to fight each other, and the WBA is considering reinstating Manny Pacquiao as the WBA champion, which I feel like they should because they emailed the belt to Ugas, not like he won it in the ring, and Manny Pacquiao has a fight scheduled before Ugas does. So it would only make sense to reinstate Manny Pacquiao as the WBA champion. So now we emailed you this prematurely. Taking that back, player. You know, so they reinstate Manny Pacquiao, and now you have that fight for 3 belts. Now, one thing is, of course, there's the assumption that Errol Spence is going to win that fight. But Errol Spence is saying like, well, if I win that fight, yes, I want Bud Crawford. Let's go back to our last segment. See, Wilder, you could have did that, but you didn't do that. All right, so now going back to this segment. Saying, yes, of course, I want TC if the fight can happen. But if the fight doesn't happen, then I'm going to move up to 154. Now, here's my thing. If Errol Spence collects 3 belts, right, and he's trying to make a fight with Terence Crawford, what I want to know from the TC fans is, what do you believe a reasonable split would be? You still think Crawford deserves 50-50? If Errol Spence goes in there and beats Manny Pacquiao and collects the WBA belt, and he has 3 belts, now he's bringing 3 belts to the table. He's beating the bigger names, including Manny Pacquiao. How much do you think TC deserves? And will you hold TC accountable? That's what I want to know from the TC fans. Because for me, this has always been the issue.
Word, all that.
Thank you.
Thank you, all that.
Thank you. That's all I want to know. All right. So I'm sorry. So people are saying 60-40, 70-30. So this is what I'm getting at. The real question is going to be, what does TC realistically deserve? And is he going to accept that? Because it seems like in his mind, he thinks he should be getting 60-40. Now, if the fight doesn't happen because TC, now look at this. This is a joke. See this? 55-45. If Errol Spence goes in there and beats Manny Pacquiao, you're telling me that Terence Crawford deserves 45% based on what?
He's trolling.
Yeah,
Based on what? This is what I'm talking about, man. Earl would have done all the heavy lifting. He would have been the one who collected all the belts. He would have been the one who's beating the bigger names at the welterweight division. Right? So come on, man. Like, I honestly think like 65-35 would be a realistic split. 70-30 is fine with me too, but I think 65-35. I'm with my man right here. Like, come on. You got to be realistic. Because right now, who is TC going to fight? You would literally have that 1 belt, and what does that 1 belt mean? Seriously. What does it mean? at the end of the day, it's not that I don't like TC. And that's what people got to understand. It's the fact that I recognize that the way TC was moving was never going to make the fight happen. Not just a fight with Errol Spence, a fight with any reasonable welterweight, the way he was moving. Here's the thing, and this is what I'm getting at, Arlette. Like, let's be realistic. Sean Porter and Danny Garcia have been involved in bigger fights than TC commercially. Like, I understand that you like him. I understand that people like him. I understand that he gets the ESPN ratings and people want to prop him up. But what has he done commercially? Like, show me his sales numbers. Show me his viewership numbers. What has he done? Like, that's what people use to determine negotiations. Jake Paul has done more to sell pay-per-views than TC. Look, at the end of the day, I hope we see the fight. My only thing is this, and this is a real discussion that TC fans need to have. What are you going to hold him to? Because as long as y'all keep running around screaming he's the diz, he don't need to fight this guy, and everyone he's going to have an out. He's going to have an out. You can say what you want about Earl, but he's fighting the bigger names. I guarantee you Errol Spence versus Manny Pacquiao is going to be on pay-per-view. I guarantee you that fight's going to do numbers. So what are we talking about at the end of the day? Okay, Arlette, what are you going to say after the Pacquiao fight? If he beats Pacquiao and that fight does numbers, are you willing to are you going to concede now that he's taken over? You still won't. You're going to find a way to hate. What TC fans do is they find a way to discredit Errol Spence opponents, and then they find a way to big up Terence Crawford opponents. That's what they do. Oh, Kell Brook looked good on the scale. He's the best he ever was. That's what they're gonna do. He could fight Mikey Garcia tomorrow. Somehow Mikey Garcia is gonna be better when TC fought him than he was when Earl beat him. So at the end of the day, when all is said and done, I'm happy to see Errol Spence be positive about this fight. I'm happy to hear Errol Spence say that he's willing to make this fight. But people, we're going to have to really come together and be realistic about this. What does TC deserve, and are you going to hold him accountable for it? That's all I got to say about it. We can move on to the next one.
So next up, we got, were you impressed with Daniel Dubois in his bounce back fight?
I thought, Bill, did you check out Dubois' fight?
I didn't even watch Daniel Dubois. I didn't even watch it. I ain't even watch the highlights either.
You ain't missed nothing, bro.
It was quick, man. It was quick.
It just shows you how I feel about Daniel Dubois.
It was a classic, man. You missed the classic.
I'm hurt by it. I'm sure the big man showed straight athleticism, was all over the ring. Looked like he ran in there.
All right, Conspiracy.
Yeah, I mean, was I impressed? No. Because they brought in a dude, man, that was supposed to just, I'm not going to say take a dive, but he was supposed to go down. And you could tell when he got rocked, he could have got up, and he said, nah, I'm all set, you know? So I think this fight was just to build Daniel Dubois' confidence back up. But it wasn't like a test to see, like, how he would do against, like, you know, quality opposition, see how his eye will hold up. It wasn't one of those fights. It was literally
Little Jacob, you're wrong for that comment, Little Jacob. No, don't put that up. Don't put that up. Little Jacob.
He's savage for that.
Yeah, but like, yeah. So to me, I mean, it was cool. He got the knockout, but it wasn't like, yo, Trill, you gotta go watch this fight. It's one of those like, whatever. Moving on. You know, I honestly. I thought the Tommy Fury fight was more exciting than this. So, to be honest with y'all,
really,
yeah. That was only 4 rounds.
All right, Ned.
Nah, but shout out to Daniel for bouncing back and doing what he needed to do, knock out the tuna can. And the knockout was impressive. It was all right, nothing too crazy. I hope Daniel keeps. He has Dillian's old trainer. I'm not getting his name right now, but hopefully their chemistry builds and he looks better in his next fight and starts taking on better heavyweight competition, and hopefully gets that rematch against Joe Joyce.
All right. Yeah, it was a typical bounce back fight. That's what I meant, Trill. You missed the classic bounce back fight. It was a guy who had no chance of winning. As soon as he got popped in the mouth with a clean right hand, he went down and acted like he tried to get up, but he couldn't and got counted out. I think it was good for Dubois' confidence because I'll be honest, when I saw him walk into the ring, he didn't look good. Yeah, he was with someone else. He wasn't with Tibbs. He was with like Stevens or something like that. I would say this. He did all right. Defensively, I saw him make some moves. He weaved some punches. He got out of the way of some punches. It looks like he was working on things. I like Shane McQuiggan. Yeah, that's who he was with, Shane McQuiggan. I like what Shane had to say after the fight. Shane said that he has the athleticism, he has the ability, but he needs to put that together. He needs to put the IQ together. He needs to work on his footwork. And so Shane wasn't blowing smoke like, oh, he could beat all the top guys. Shane said, like, give him like 6 months to a year, and then he'll be ready to compete with the top guys. And I think that was a fair assessment. I think he does have some tools, but remember, he's still a prospect. He still has a lot to learn. I think Joe Joyce exposed him, and I feel like he had a good bounce back fight. It was for the interim WBA title, so I think now he can get a fight with Trevor Bryant. I think he should fight Trevor Bryant and smoke him. And then if he wants to, he can go the route of fighting Manuel Char, the guy who cheated, the real GOAT, the best, Chris Lovejoy. He can fight Manuel Char and get some get back for Lovejoy, and even Lovejoy if he wanted to. So I think he should take those fights. Soccer Dad's Forums comment. Yeah, but I think he should take those fights before he tries to get back in there with Joe Joyce, already elite fighters. But it was a good comeback fight.
All right, so next up is the Shields versus Elkin predictions.
Oh, yes. Claressa Shields is fighting Brittney Elkin on Thursday on ESPN2 or ESPN Plus. Of course, I'm close with Lovejoy. What you think this is, man? I'm still riding with Lovejoy. Give Lovejoy a rematch in the United States against Manuel Char, and you're going to see a different outcome. I guarantee it. All right, so we're going to go to the tail of the tape somewhat. And as you can see, Brittney Elkins to the right. She's 3-6 in mixed martial arts. Claressa Shields, of course, is making her debut. She's 5'11". Claressa Shields is 5'8". Oh, yeah. And so here's like a voters poll that they have going on. I think it says 395 people voted, and 92% of the people are picking Claressa Shields to win, and majority of the people are picking Claressa Shields to win by knockout. So I'll turn it over to you, Dollar Bill. On Thursday, Claressa Shields makes her MMA debut in the PFL. I think it's Pro Fighting League. I think that's what it means. Against Brittney Elkin. Who you got?
I think that this is going to be a showcase for Claressa to help her profile a little bit. So I'm going for Ned's lady. You know, Claressa, our sister, don't want to diss her because Ned want to get with you. Probably want to kiss you. Never dismiss you.
I think Ned said he's moving on.
Oh, you moved on? Okay, man. Well, Ned moved on. Well, so just I want to stay on Ned's good side, so I'm going to go with Claressa.
All right, Ned, you're our resident Claressa Shields expert, man.
Yes.
Who you got? Who you got?
You know, it's already Claressa by default. And Claressa is going to KO this girl. I don't even know who Elkins is. She doesn't even look like she can even match the skills of Claressa, even in her debut in MMA. That's how great she is. She just could come into a different sport and just start to take it over. Shout out to you, Claressa, for your new journey, and I'm rooting for you. I'm gonna watch you. And Kaden, watch your mouth. I still love her.
My bad, homie. My bad. Yeah. Hey, listen. The fight's in New Jersey, and there's still tickets available, I believe. So, are you going to make that? Are you going to make that drive to New Jersey to see Claressa?
I just might.
You don't love her then if it's I just might.
Hey, so man, my only thing is she has a man. Like, what do you do? Like, you show up and her man's there, and you trying to like get a hug or whatever. Like, what happens?
I say this: if he interjects, that's the last time he interjects with me. I'll tell you this. Let me stop. Let me cut the crap. But you know, Claressa, I'm a fan.
If you couldn't tell already.
Gee, watch your mouth, man. I'm sorry. But Claressa, you know, if I was to go in for a hug and her man try to touches me, might have to violate, yo. Might have to give him that TBE special.
Conspiracy.
Yo, Rachel, man, I forgot about that song. That was the jam back in the day.
That was. Was it Positive K, right? That was his name. Positive K.
Yeah, but I actually I watched that episode 1 of the Claressa Shields episodes on ESPN Plus. You know what I mean? So they released like the she has like a little docu-series that's about to drop. Well, that just dropped. Episode 1 just dropped. And she was talking about, you know, doing boxing and MMA training at the same time. And they had like a couple like experts from MMA, and they were like, yo, that's the two completely different combat sports. And, you know, you have to be fully committed to one or the other to actually really like dominate in either field, right? But when you showed Elkin's record of 3 victories, 6 losses, I already know what time it is, man. This is literally hey, we're going to give you introductory food. So here's the appetizer to your MMA career. So I have to believe that Claressa is going to beat this woman. And there's no disrespect to this lady, but I'm pretty sure she knows why they called her for that fight. Like, you're supposed to be food, right? And they make more money having Claressa Shields in that MMA because it's not UFC. You know, so it's like one of them smaller, promotional companies. So that company needs Claressa to keep winning because it gives them notoriety, it gives them more money, more seats, more pay-per-views, and things of that nature. So you already know what time it is, man. Shields definitely gonna win. I don't know how. I don't know if it's gonna be by knockout or by arm bar or whatever she's been working on, but Shields is gonna get the victory, man. So it's all good. Shout out to Elkin for taking this payday.
All right. So, Ned, man, before I go, you said something that was profound before, and I thought maybe you would want to share it with the people now. You said something about if your man can't beat me. Like, what was that?
If your man can't beat me, you ain't got a man. That's law.
All right. So it's going to be an interesting thing. I think you touched on all the big points. I think for PFL, Claressa Shields winning this fight is big because it helps their brand. I don't think it's fair to Claressa to throw her in with a highly skilled MMA fighter right out of the gate. You should allow her the chance to build her skills and to perfect her craft in that arena. So I think Brittney Elkin is a good opponent. The danger for Claressa Shields is Brittney Elkin is actually a wrestler. And what is it called? Like jiu-jitsu. Those are her strengths. So to wrestle, to get someone on the ground, to submit them, that's what she specializes in. And Claressa Shields is obviously a striker. So I think the danger for Shields is if she gets taken to the ground, maybe Brittney will have the advantage. So it's going to be an interesting fight. Shields is probably going to do her best to stand up and strike and KO. Elkin, I know Elkin was TKO'd in her last fight, I believe. So she can be knocked out. She has been knocked out before. So with that being said, I think this is a good first fight for Claressa Shields. It does present some danger in the fact that she's going against someone who, whether you respect the fighter or not, is more experienced in wrestling in the ground game than Claressa Shields. That doesn't mean that Shields won't have the ability to pick up those skills and get better at it and potentially take Brittney Elkin out. I know that a lot of people want to see Shields fight Savannah Marshall. I'm one of them. However, Trill's one of them as well. She is trying to do something and attempting to do something to build her profile. And so you got to give her respect for that. Hopefully she doesn't get injured. She doesn't get hurt because there's a lot of risk that she's taking with this fight. You look at what happened to Anderson Silva, and I can't remember the name of the other guy who ended up having his leg get hurt as well. So hopefully she leaves unscathed, and we will see the fight with Savannah Marshall. But she's trying to accomplish something. She wants to build her profile, and she's not the only woman boxer who's done MMA. She had Holly Holm on that special that G was referring to. That's on ESPN Plus, and Holly Holm was a champion in MMA and in boxing. And she has Holly Holm as a mentor. She has a lot of good mentors. And that's one of the things I was impressed with Shields. She does have a nice mentor team. A lot of people working with her in MMA. So people do want to see her be successful. So I'm picking Shields by knockout. I think even if she gets on the ground, she's going to win by ground and pound. So I think Claressa Shields by knockout.
And she got Bones Jones. Bones Jones was helping her too,
Yeah, Bones Jones.
Yep. So he was probably hooking her up with nothing.
Yo, I got a question though. So
and Amanda Serrano does MMA as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like Claressa's been real vocal about women's boxing, and she wants to become a millionaire, this and a third. But you watch Katie Taylor, and she makes $1 million per fight. So why don't Claressa just sign with the Zone? The Zone cutting out big checks. Why don't she just go that route? And I don't know if she'll get $1 million off of her first fight, but at least it'll be something close, I would like to imagine, because of her name alone. So why doesn't she just do that?
I don't know, man. I think you get paid what you generate. Women's boxing, there's a huge issue in terms of the money they generate, how much money goes to them. Because you look at that documentary, and Claressa Shields was driving like a Nissan Altima, a Sentra, and you compare it to, say, like the male fighters when you see them and what they're driving. Although being physically responsible is a cool thing, so even if she made $1 million, I would like to think she still drive her Nissan. Maybe just upgrade to the leather seats with all the bells and whistles. But salute to her. She's a fighter. I do want to see her succeed. But I think one thing people miss, and this is one of the things that I was bringing up with like TC, and people call it hating, is marketability. You have to be able to market yourself. People have to want to see you fight. People have to want to pay to see you. People have to want to meet you. And when you say certain things and you present yourself a certain way and you carry yourself a certain way, people aren't going to want to endorse you. People are not going to want to be behind you. You look at Katie Taylor. She got all these endorsements. Look at the way she carries herself. Look at what she's doing. People are going to toe the racial line. And there are some truths to that. And there are some examples to disprove that. You look at Layla Ali, she was able to still get endorsement deals and make money. You look at Floyd Mayweather, the highest grossing pay-per-view star ever, and he's a black man. So you have to do things and you have to inspire people. You have to galvanize. You have to do a lot of things that attract people to you. And some of the things Claressa Shields does turns people off. And some of the things that TC does turns people off as well. I can say the same with Wilder. So there's a lot of things that go into it. I think when you look at Anthony Joshua, for example, he packages himself well. He understands that he's a brand. And that's what these fighters don't understand. When you look in a mirror, you have to see yourself as a brand. What are you promoting? What are you pushing? What you says means something to the world. What image are you trying to present to the world? I think Shields feels like I should be able to say what I want, do whatever I want, and y'all should just pay me. And because I'm a woman, it's like, no, people don't endorse you because they never know what the hell you're going to say when you're in front of a mic. That's a huge problem.
And another problem is too, also, I was a big advocate for the women getting the pay that they deserve. Y'all remember, if y'all go back and look at the segment that we did. And it was something that you did say, bro, and I never thought about it. Yes, I think that these women should be paid well. But like you were saying, it's all on them. It's on them. And I think it has something to do with these women are only allowed to do too many rounds. I think a lot of them, if they have more knockouts, it will bring more fans. More fans to bring more money. And more, you know what I'm saying? And more knockouts bring more interest. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think another thing. If they do something about the rounds and it'll be more exciting because these ladies will start getting these knockouts and these stoppages, it will bring more people to the sport and watch and be able to watch it and be entertained by it. And then they will stop being able to get paid what I think that they should be getting paid.
All right, so go to Arlette for a second because I want to point out something to Arlette. You're talking about Spence doesn't carry himself well. What you're talking about is the fact that he drinks, right? You have to understand that drinking is a common thing in America. A lot of people drink and a lot of people drive, believe it or not. They don't get caught, but a lot of people drink and drive. So when you look at Errol Spence drinking and driving and you're saying he doesn't carry himself well, there's a lot of people who can relate to drinking and driving. But the things Claressa Shields says when she's on a microphone, like her train of thought, her thought process, her actions, people can't relate to that. So although you may look at drinking and driving as a bad thing, I do as well. There are a lot of people who do it. Go to any club right now, go to any college campus in America, go anywhere where they're serving alcohol, people are going to be drinking and driving. Blowing up in weight isn't necessarily something to judge people by. That's not, I'm talking about when you put a microphone in front of Claressa Shields and she says something like she wants to kill someone or some of the things she says. And then Claressa Shields turns around and says something that would make it, people who endorse her feel like, oh man, this is bad for our brand, so we can't endorse her. Errol Spence doesn't do those things when Errol Spence has a mic in front of him. So that's the difference. Ballooning up in weight, doing all those things like that's a characteristic for him. That's bad for his career, but it's not bad for the brand, right?
And not to mention, so far he's never missed weight. You know,
yeah.
And so he's not involved, and that's what I'm getting at. But when you make certain statements, like look at what happened with Brashear in the Ivana Habazine fight. Can you imagine being a sponsor for Claressa Shields and then some old man gets beat up by her brother and smashed and whatever, and then she's in the videos like, you know what's going down? You know, that's going to keep you from being a millionaire.
And shout out to my peoples in the UK. I remember my man Ricky Hatton, he had this fitness endorsement, and we all know what Ricky Hatton did in between.
Ricky Fatton. It's not, and with TC, the thing about TC isn't that TC is necessarily bad. He's just not good at selling himself. Look at what Teofimo Lopez does in an interview. Look at what Teofimo Lopez does. TC to me, I wish that someone would train TC to show the side of him that he shows when he's in front of like Andre Ward backstage or whatever. When you see that TC, I'm like, yo, when they put the camera on you, be that guy. But like when they put the camera on him, he doesn't really say anything. He doesn't really do anything. And I know people are like, oh, what's the promoter's job? But promoter can only do so much. You got to connect with the people. That's when people love you. You connect with the people. Like Arturo Gotti, even when he was fading, people would still pay to see him because he made that connection with the people. Like people feel him. You connect with that fighter. Even as crazy as Wilder is, but Wilder got people who connect with him. And that's what it's about at the end of the day. TC, like, it's just all skill. And he's like, yo, let my skills do the talking. And you know what? I wish that this sport was that way. But you and I know that, like, it's not always that way. And he doesn't always sell himself the way that he should. And I think that's what holds him back 100%. I never feel cheated from TC once that bell rings. Never feel cheated from TC. But I'm a boxing fan. You understand? I'm going to watch the fight. What does TC do that's going to make the casual want to see him fight?
Claressa unsells herself. Oh man. Yeah, but that was actually the last topic, fellas.
I mean, so that's basically it. I mean, if y'all want to rock for like a few minutes, and if they have any questions, we can do it. Or if not, we can end it.
I have a question earlier about what was our thoughts about the Eddie Hearn's DAZN deal in the UK.
What was the
I
deal?
live in the UK, so I don't really know how that affects, boxing over there. But I like to imagine if it's like the US, where you don't have to pay $50 to $75 or $80 for pay-per-views, that it should be a benefit to y'all the way it is for us. So I just can't find that question. But salute to whoever asked that, I guess.
Oh, I was trying to put this up. That's that. I'm fine with that too. At the end of the day, though, I do like skill, and I do feel like if you're talented, that should be enough. But I do see the point. Like, we pay money, we follow your story. We should be entertained. Boxing is a form of entertainment. At the end of the day, and you should give us something. You look at the WWE, the fighting isn't even real. They exist because the characters that they create. So that just lets you know the power of a character, the power of the role. And sometimes you're going to play a role and you're going to turn people off. And sometimes, I mean, personally, even though I don't agree with Deontay Wilder said, like I said, I think he's playing a role. Everything I've seen from that man has told me he wants to kill anybody. Every time I watch him in the ring, every time I see him knock someone out, I see him pray. I see him concerned. I don't believe Deontay Wilder wants to kill anyone. I just think he's playing a role. But I think, like, when you play that role, it could hurt your endorsement deals. Because if I'm someone like Nike, I'm someone like Puma, I'm someone like Adidas, I'm like, man, I like Wilder, I would endorse him. But like, he's saying he wants to kill people. I can't have my products on a guy saying he wants to kill someone. Like, so that's what I'm getting at. You have to be mindful of those things. Whereas you got a guy like Josh where you're like, man, I like his look. I like what he's doing. I could put my clothes on him and he understands the value of being a brand, and I think that's the difference for a lot of fighters right now.
Ned or Troy, I want to add to that. We have another question. Zelina, y'all talked about Charlo and Wilder. So I think she's referencing Charlo said Deontay Wilder came up with excuses for losing to Tyson Fury. I mean, so.
All right, so you want to address it, G?
I mean, actually, I agree with Charlo on that one. It's like, bro, you're a grown-ass man. Like, there's no need to come up with all of these excuses, like, just, what I mean? Hey, take the L. Everybody takes the L. Just bounce back. That's all you got to do. All these excuses, they are extreme, like. So I'm not necessarily mad at Charlo at all for this. I know people are like, oh, they're both PBC fighters, but none of that matters, man. Like, Charlo he has the right to his own opinion. You know, like that's another thing too. It's like not all black people or all black fighters have to be in agreement with Wilder's you know, conspiracy theories. You know, like some of them just sound so extreme that you're like, yo, I can't put my name, I can't co-sign that. You know, like Charles probably like, yo, fam, you lost fair and square. Like you lost to the better man. Just run it back, work on what you gotta do, and you'll be okay. You know.
Yeah, just my thoughts. As someone who's critiqued Wilder's resume and pointed out where he's fought easy opposition and the fact that, you know, he's been in light, I don't think he had anything to be ashamed of. Yo, I honestly think he proved himself in that fight. He proved that he's willing to take punishment. He proved that he's willing to try to win regardless of things not going his way. He proved he was a warrior. He had nothing to be ashamed of in that fight. Even when I hear him speaking now, my issue is the fact that he's still doubling down on the nonsense when I'm like, bro, you lost. It can happen to anybody. Look, it can happen to anybody. For real. AJ's lost. It's rare that fighters go undefeated. Don't be fooled by that. Wilder, anyone can take an L, bro. Just do your best. Come back in there and try to win. Like, I would respect it more if he was doing that. But the excuses, I feel like, are unnecessary because I feel like bro got nothing to be ashamed of at the end of the day. But I'm not a fan of the excuses, and that's one of the things that I take issue with when I hear, like, Wilder's and the Wildettes and everyone saying those things. I'm like, yo, Wilder, you really got nothing to be ashamed of, bro. Like, 100.
Yo, Ned, Trill, huh? All right. I'm trying to see if there's more questions.
He hit it.
All right.
Fearon, what is everyone keeps talking about Spencer Fearon? What happened with Spencer Fearon? I'm not aware.
What's that question now? I don't see it.
Well, I've seen like Spencer Fearon's name come up a lot of times. Like, for example, Ruben Guerrero saying Fearon been contradicting himself for decades. Someone else said he was wrong about Tyson Fury.
Oh, I think they're talking about Fearon. I think it was on the Boxing Voice. They were asking him about the trilogy, and he said he is getting you know, he's getting nervous for Fury for this upcoming fight. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. Fearon is Team Fury, so I don't see what the issue is, man. Like, and I think he's probably just thinking like how everybody else is thinking. You know what I mean? Hold on, it says same Fearon who said Reva's legit failed a test in the same interview was saying media disgraceful for calling White a cheat after his proved failed test. Well, I mean, I'll say this. We even talked about that before. What happened to the B sample? You know what I mean? We never really found out really what happened to the B sample. So is Fearon really contradicting himself? You know, like.
Well, I'll say this about Spencer Fearon, man. I think that dude's really intelligent. Mm-hmm. I know that he's a boxing historian. He studies the sport. He knows a lot. And I respect Fearon because if Fearon makes one mistake,
they on his ass.
Everybody's on Fearon. That lets me know how good you are. When people are that way, when you can't even mess up one time or people are looking for you to mess up, that means people are listening to you, looking at you, watching you with a critical ear because like they just want to get at you. So everyone going at Fearon, listen, that man Fearon is a beast.
Okay, so this is the question.
Okay.
So what do you guys think about Spencer saying Eddie got played over the Fury failed deal?
Yeah. Yes. Possibly 100%.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
100% he did.
Yo, listen, you don't mean
probably, yeah.
Y'all know I'm not the hugest fan of Eddie, you know, but with this deal, I'm pretty sure he done use so much flyer mileage and points on his credit card trying to make that deal. Just for ball in the background to just front like, yeah, we want this fight.
Yo, sleepless nights trying to make that deal.
Dirty.
Yo, listen, like think about that was a huge fight that the world wanted to see. My man's doing everything he can to make it happen. We had Bob Arum and we had Frank Warren fronting like they really wanted it, knowing that they were in arbitration, knowing that it's a strong chance they have to do the trilogy, but they're not telling Eddie anything. That's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I know, like in business, there's no like long-term friends or long-term enemies. So Eddie could possibly find a way to look past this. But if Eddie wanted to be petty, I ain't even mad at Eddie, man, because they messing with his pockets, messing with relationships. That relationship that he just built with the Saudi prince, that could be burnt. Dude could be like, I don't even want to deal with y'all no more. It could be a number of things, all because Bob didn't want to pick up the phone and be like, hey, yo, Eddie, man, I'm being 100 with you. It's not looking too good. I think you should pause this undisputed and holler at Usyk real quick. Like a simple call or something, so that way Eddie doesn't look like a fool, because it looked like everything blew up in Eddie's face, which wasn't right.
I saw a question from Arlette that I guess I thought would be a good one. It says, other than AJ, Canelo, and Pac-Man, none of these fighters are making money outside of the sport. Spence is getting 20% to Manny's 80%. What I want to say about that is at least Spence recognizes that Pacquiao deserves 80%. Unlike someone else who could have got the same deal and probably gotten the same fight. And there lies the difference. People understand to become a star, you have to acquiesce to the A side. You have to give in to demands. Floyd Mayweather didn't become Money Mayweather overnight. That's what people don't recognize. Everybody wants to say Money Mayweather. Money Mayweather became Money Mayweather after he beat Oscar De La Hoya. And remember, Oscar De La Hoya was the A side. And Oscar De La Hoya picked the gloves. He picked the size of the ring. He picked the weight. He picked everything. And all Floyd did was say, okay, when I get in the ring, I'm going to beat you. And that's what you're supposed to do. So kudos to Errol Spence. What you're saying to me makes me like Errol Spence, because it makes me say respect to you, brother, for realizing that Pacquiao deserves 80%. You believe in yourself enough to take that 20%, because if you beat Pacquiao, you're going to become the cash cow. That's going to be worth a lot more. That's what TC should have done. That's what people do. When you realize that the way you build your name is off of other names. That's the way the sport has always been. That's the way the sport has always worked.
Always been. From the beginning of time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Kudos to Errol Spence for recognizing that, taking that 20%.
Yeah. How can you not like Eddie? Listen, you gotta love Eddie. And I was actually, you know what's so crazy? Like Eddie has been and I don't want to end up bigging Eddie too much, but Eddie has been doing what you want a promoter to do. Mm-hmm. Eddie has been that promoter guy. These other guys they hurt the sport. They've been hurting this sport of boxing. Eddie's been trying to help keep it moving. And when I say that, I don't want to make no disrespect to anybody, because much respect goes out to Al Heyman. But I get Al Heyman. I get where he was coming from. You know what I'm saying? You know why I get where Al Heyman is coming from? Because I know his story. I know how he felt about where his brother, his brother was a boxer, and his brother got hurt, and he felt like his brother was done dirty by the sport. He had nothing to show for it. So he wanted to make sure that other boxers get compensated. And when he first busted on the scene and he was having the fights on Fox and everything, I was excited. I was like, go ahead. All these fighters was getting paid all this big money. I was like, go ahead. And then they was fighting nobodies. That became a point where these guys, I started looking back at like these guys are hurting themselves. Even though Al thinks that he's helping them, he's actually hurting them by not having them fight nobody. Because when the other guys over here fighting everybody, and it gets time for you guys to get in the ring, y'all not going to be prepared. And that's what happened with a lot of PBC fighters. That's why I was saying about with the Canelo situation. But I get where Al Heyman's coming from. He's coming from a place of love. He wants these fighters to be compensated because he knows what happened with his brother. I get that. But he's also hurting these fighters as well. And by not making certain fights. Then the guy came to a time where he was like, no, now y'all guys got to earn y'all money.
And they don't want to because they're so used to making, a certain amount of money fighting easy fights.
And he said, hey, now it's time for you guys to earn y'all money now.
So we got another question. Ant 718, Boston Russell Skitty. What you guys think on what Hurd said that Team Fury could have walked away from the Wilder contract in December 2020 and decided not to?
He's right. They agreed to arbitration. That was one of the main points. They agreed to it. But, you know, at the end of the day, like I said, I'm not going to, I don't know. You know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Everyone keeps talking about the contract, whatever, the fight's here. So there's nothing we can do about it. The fight's here. Bob Arum had the stadium. He had the date. He had it all. By the time the arbitrator made the ruling. So
and that's what makes me think they played Eddie Hearn.
They played him hard. They played him
so hard because you had everything already set up. You know what I mean? So like you had Tyson Fury.
It don't sound like ducking, but it sound like why is it right? Where every time it's time to fight this kid, and I don't even like him. I don't like him no more.
What kid you talking about?
I'm talking about AJ.
Trill don't like AJ no more.
I don't like AJ no more. You know why? Because I like him too much.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Just because of Usyk.
No, I found myself being a fanboy, and I don't like it.
No, I respect that. Mm-hmm.
So I take it back. You know what I'm saying? I don't like AJ no more. But you gotta get. This is the problem. Here it is. These guys gotta be scared of him, yo. These guys are unbelievable money. I don't get it, yo. Yo, I just don't get it. Man, I don't want to say it, man. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
Yeah. Listen, I know what I'm about to say sounds kind of crazy. I could understand the argument if it was Wilder. I don't believe Tyson Fury is afraid of Anthony Joshua at all. You know, and so with this, when I seen Frank Warren when he was talking about it, and when Frank Warren was like, "Yo, listen, we literally have to abide by this arbitration ruling because we would get sued as the promoters for setting up this AJ Fury fight. Wilder will be owed millions. It's just not worth it. You know, we just have to do this trilogy." So to me, it's just like, you know, their hands are tied. You know, I don't think Tyson Fury is like, "Yo, I don't want to fight Anthony Joshua." Like I don't believe that, man.
There's two things I decided I'm not going to do in the show ever again. One is address a hater, and two, I'm not even going to use my legal knowledge because people they're not even on a level to understand it. But I'll break it down from a simple point that anyone could understand. If you entered into a 2-fight deal with someone, right? Meaning you're going to fight the second fight with Wilder, and there's going to be a third fight. Why would you agree at any point in time that any disputes will be resolved through arbitration? Especially knowing that your guys from the UK. So one, why would you agree, even in the beginning, even from day one of making that 2-fight deal, why would you concede that any dispute would be handled through arbitration? That's one. And two, let's say hypothetically that was the agreement in the original contract. One, why would you do it? It's the dumbest thing ever. And two, let's say it wasn't that way. And in the end of December, when the contract expired and they were going at it, and then in court they said, well, would you two agree to arbitration? Why would you even do it then if you never wanted to fight this guy again? So all this stuff adds up to problems. And again, let me just put this up here. I didn't insult anyone. So if you took it that way, I apologize. But my point is people aren't going to research what's being said. People are automatically looking to confirm whatever. So if you say something, people aren't going to look up the cases. People aren't going to actually research what you said so they can find out whether what you said is not. When you actually know the cases, when you actually have experience being in a courtroom trying the case. So you speaking from experience, someone who's just sitting behind their computer and likes Wilder is just going to say whatever. They're not going to do the research. So my point is, why would I keep speaking and saying stuff? It's just a waste of time. But my point remains. Why would you ever agree to settle this dispute through arbitration?
Mhm.
The fact that they did that is a problem within itself. Whether it was in the original contract or whether it was in December of 2020, the fact that they decide to put arbitration in there as a point of resolution is a major problem.
I just feel, man, and I want to be on the AJ train, but that young man has never did anything like that. Every time he say he's gonna fight somebody, he fights him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's just, to me, it's just a little strange and weird. Shout out to South Africa. I seen y'all in there. Shout out to the homie Andre. I seen the homie Ward in there. I just feel like I just feel like it's I just feel like it just
That's even more research than the average person does. So salute to you, brother.
yeah. And I'm not going off of, and I'm just going just off of pure, just from the outside looking in. There's no legal things in it or nothing. Just say if this was just two regular people.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It ain't even that deep.
Yeah, it ain't that deep. You don't even have to get too deep. If this was just regular people, what would you say? Like, something just sounds funny, you know? And this kid AJ just wants all the smoke. I've never heard him do any of this. But all these guys, every time when it comes down to fight, it's always some excuse. I don't know. I don't know. Is AJ really? I don't know what they feel. I don't know how they feel about the kid AJ. Maybe they're not scared. They just ain't ready yet.
Nah, at this level, man, I think everybody's ready to bang. They just want the payday. That's all it is.
And they getting it, and they're not making it happen.
The payday's AJ, though.
Can I say this?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the payday is AJ.
Can I say this? During Wilder Fury 2, you guys did say, they were looking like they were trying to make this fight as long as possible. Like they were even joking around about Wilder Fury 4 and things like that, and things of that nature. And this is a little close to that type of prediction because these guys, like when we had that, when we were talking about the arbitration, the rules, and Kaden, you were going over the rules of arbitration, how it's not final. And then the way Fury just gave in, it just shows like these guys are full of it. Like they come out here, they say all of this. Like for months, Fury's was like, "Oh, I need a fight. I need this. I need that." Oh, AJ, Eddie Hearns aren't saying anything. I'm left out. And then all of a sudden he comes out and says, "Oh, the fight's this day." Then arbitration happens the next day. Then boom, the fight date for Wilder Fury happens the next day after that. It just seems like somebody knows what's going on, but when they come out to the public, they're trying to do all this misleading and everything. And I'm just saying, you guys, I say this was like close to your prediction when you said they were going to drag out this Wilder Fury nonsense just to avoid undisputed. So,
nah, I'm saying, man, they're doing a good job making AJ look like he's the monster. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're afraid. They're doing a great job promoting AJ right now. Like,
I'll be honest, I don't necessarily know that Fury was involved. And what I mean by it is this. I think Bob Arum knew what he wanted to do from the jump because he had the venue, he had the date, he had everything set. Now Tyson Fury's just the fighter. Yeah. So I think in with Fury, and maybe they were playing both sides. You never know. That's something they could have been doing as well. Oh, but I'm not 100% sure that Fury knew, but his team, especially Bob Arum, knew. You know how they knew? Because they knew it was a possibility they could lose, and they had the venue and the date, but they told Eddie there's no way they could lose. And you know that they told Eddie there's no way they can lose because there was no way Eddie was going to put all that effort and time and everything into getting the venue. If Eddie knew there was the slightest possibility they can lose, and they were aware of it the whole time. I don't think Fury was aware of it because when you look at his growing frustrations, to me, it makes sense as to why he was like, who am I fighting? What's going on? I'm a fighter in December. Like, If they don't tell me, I'm just going to fight. Like I can see, and then like they say, okay, Fury, you're going to fight Wilder. So Fury's like, okay, I agree. Fury looks real happy with the decision to fight Wilder.
Yeah,
but
when he signed that contract, he was signing it all with a
Fury signed it.
I'm like, damn.
Fury signed it as soon as the judge made the ruling. Fury was ready to sign it. But I think part of that is the reason why I think that is. I think Fury doesn't believe that Wilder can beat him. I think Fury believes when he fought Wilder the first time, he was at his absolute worst. I think he feels stronger, better than he's ever been. And so he's thinking, if you couldn't beat me then, you damn sure can't beat me now. Whether or not all that's true remains to be seen. But I do think the snake in the grass is Bob Arum. And I don't think that he just played Eddie Hearn. I think he played Frank Warren as well. And people aren't mentioning that. I think he played Frank. I think he played Eddie. I think Bob knew what he wanted to do all along. And maybe that was to help his relationship with Al Heyman somehow. But at the end of the day, I think Bob is the snake who did all this. And I'm not necessarily sure that the whole team was in on it though.
I don't know if I want to even address this question. Have you guys heard Ring IQ's theory on Wilder versus Fury? How this whole thing is scripted? I can't believe it's scripted.
Yeah.
This is horrible.
Nah, I mean, look.
I thought Trey was gonna say something.
He is. It looks like he's gathering his thoughts. Go ahead.
You know what? I said this jokingly on air long time ago on one of our segments. I said it seems like this is like the WWF between these guys, and don't be surprised if we get a fourth fight, right?
I remember.
And that's how it was looking, from the outside looking in, especially if you grew up, in the 80s, like we did watching wrestling. You know what I'm saying? I just got through, go check out some documentaries on some old wrestlers right now that I was watching. I was just watching Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man Ray.
I don't know, Trill. Rumor has it you was watching Gold Dust, but I'm wrong.
Look, hey, listen. Gold Dust used to play mind games. Tyson Fury right there. Tyson Fury. Yo, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I've been really feeling like these guys, man, have been acting like this is R.I.P. Rest in peace to Ultimate Warrior too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Val Venus, the greatest wrestler that ever lived. Val Venus, the most underrated wrestler ever. Val Venus.
Why am I not surprised?
But like I was saying, man, Tyson Fury, aka Gold Dust, king of the mind games, I can see it because that's what it seemed like. It really seemed like these guys was doing the whole WWE thing back and forth. So, and then when Deontay Wilder came out with all those wild accusations, tell me that didn't sound like some WWE crap. And he hit me over the head with the hey, wait. He didn't know. Then he used my manager to come against me. Then the ref was against me. I will come back in the ring and I will destroy you guys. And then Hulkamania will rule. Wilder will rule again.
I'm out for blood.
I just had a okay. We got another question.
Hold on, Trill's not done. Trill's rolling with this. Let Trill roll with. Go ahead. Keep your question on standby though.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is this is this is what I'm saying. This is like the WWE, man. And they out here just talking. You hear Tyson Fury sounding like Ric Flair out there. You know what I'm saying? He can't beat me. I'm the chain buster.
Stealing, wheeling and dealing.
But he's like, I'm the UK punching. You know what I'm saying? Jim Sidman King having. Versace roll Tyson Fury. Woo! You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These guys is acting like this is the WWE. So I get it. I'm not mad at him for making that comment. Because how this is playing out in the mess behind the scenes, this is playing out like some WrestleMania drama.
Mm-hmm. But we got a good question, fellas.
Let me just say one quick thing to that question that you just posted.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't think it was scripted, only because I don't see a way you could convince Deontay Wilder to lose the way that he did. Plus, those punches were real. Like, he was really getting hit. It's like, for me in boxing, when you look at Fury going down and the way he went down, but that just goes to show you how ludicrous this whole mess is, that people really like, this whole thing is scripted. Because like you can write a better script. Like, Undisputed is announced, and then the very next day, no, it's not. Like, it's just a hot mess.
Very next day. Like,
yeah, every day doesn't sound like the 80s.
All right, but yeah, this is
G3. Don't worry, we're in arbitration right now.
Ned has taken G to arbitration, and it's being heard right now. So G may not be free to go up against Complex just yet.
Man, listen, man, I already told y'all what I wanted. Undisputed. Bring me Caden. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, you know what's funny? You know what's funny? G's using Caden's name for the hype. That's it. That's it. You don't want part of Caden. You don't want
Yo, spicy, man.
Man, good luck with arbitration.
Hey, man. Yo, if the third punch off happened, you already know what happened, people.
You know what? I'll say this. Whatever happens to Wilder Fury 3 will be what happens with us. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, yeah. So you better be rooting for the right men. But anyways, this is actually a great question from Blues 1. It says, why are Wilder and Fury considered in the top 3? Could they definitely beat White or other top guys? Who wants to take a crack at it first?
I'll go at it, G.
Next
I'll go. We already talked about Fury's resume. He was the guy to take dethrone Klitschko. And that's why he got that. That's why he's up there. Wilder, he held the belt for so many years. Honestly, Wilder shouldn't be in the top 3 or top 5. But we want to see if he really could get it back in the third fight. But after the third fight, Wilder is not. He's not even a top 10 heavyweight after this. Fury
top 10. Fine.
Yeah, not even top 10. Fury. For me, Wilder would have to beat the top 10 to be relevant in the heavyweight division after this fight. Fury's a solid boxer. There's no doubt about it. It's just his antics for me. But Fury, he beat Klitschko in an unbelievable fashion. It wasn't a knockout, but he outboxed him very well. Because both of them haven't fought White, Parker, Ruiz. Usyk, what's his name? Povetkin. Fury's at the point where it's like he doesn't need to fight these guys. Like, he just wants that. He wants that payday. He wants to get paid, and I respect it. But it's like we're giving him a pass at this point because he did what he did in the past, and he also came back and he beat Wilder. So.
All right, G, you wanna answer?
Yeah, I'll take a shot at this. Well, I think for obvious reasons, right? At the time, Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder were the only ones with the belts. So by default, they'll be on the top of the list because they're the actual champions at the time. But then Tyson Fury showed up and actually dethroned Deontay Wilder. So now it makes sense why Tyson Fury, in addition to, Tyson Fury's previous accolade of, dethroning the 10-year reigning champion, Vladimir Klitschko, so that makes sense why people argue that these are the top 3 in the heavyweight division. Now but I see what people are saying because Wilder hasn't fought any of the other guys, well, with the exception of Luis Ortiz. But, he didn't fight the Dillian Whites, the Joseph Parkers, the Povetkins, and things of that nature. So, but at the time when people were like, these were the top three, well, this is actually still the time, it's because Wilder just lost to Tyson Fury. So you're not going to have a guy who's just a champion off rip because he lost. Now he's out of the top 10. Like, that sounds crazy, Ned, So I think it makes sense why these three, or, Wilder being number 3 right now, and then Tyson Fury, I'll say AJ 1 and then Fury number 2. It just makes sense based on the hardware, and Wilder just recently losing his hardware.
I would just say they won the biggest fights.
That's what I was just going to say, my brother.
Yeah. If you look at Dillian White, as much as we like Dillian, when he fought Anthony Joshua, he lost, and when he fought Alexander Povetkin, he lost. And those are going to be two things that hold him back in the argument. And you look at Deontay Wilder, when he stepped up against Bermane Stiverne, he won. Although it was a vacant title, Bermane Stiverne won. Deontay Wilder got the title, and he went on to knock guys out in impressive fashion, although they weren't the caliber of opponents that Dillian White was facing. You got to remember that Anthony Joshua had beaten Dillian White. Tyson Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko on the biggest stage, and he took the major belts that AJ holds now from Vladimir Klitschko, and he became the lineal champion. Now, I know Lennox really retired lineal. We're not going to get into it. Tyson Fury has the status. He won the status. So when you win the status as lineal, you're considered the man who beat the man. So Fury's considered the man who beat the man, right? And then Wilder fights him, and although people don't want to acknowledge this, Wilder got a draw with him. That draw legitimizes Deontay Wilder in a way, doesn't it? Wilder should hang that draw up over his Luis Ortiz knockouts. You actually drawed with the lineal heavyweight champion of the world. And then in a rematch, you got your behind whoop, right? But you get another chance to fight him again. So I think those are the reasons why. Where although you can say that Dillian White has beaten better opposition than Deontay Wilder, has he ever beaten a Tyson Fury? No. Tyson Fury is the lineal, right? And Deontay Wilder drawed with the lineal. So you have to keep that in mind as well. Although I know some of you may feel like Dillian White can beat Wilder and Dillian White can beat Fury. Keep in mind, though, that doesn't mean that he would. We have to see the fights. The fights don't play out on paper. I thought Alexander Povetkin was toast against Dillian White, and he knocked out Dillian White. So that's why those guys are top 3. If you put Dillian in the top 3, I wouldn't be mad. I think he has the second best resume in the heavyweight division.
Shout out to my man Andrew Ward. And no, there's no way we can explain that. He asked the question, can you guys please break down how Luis Ortiz is in the top 10? And I can't do it for you.
Old tease. I just can't find it. Damn.
You seen the comment up there?
Yeah, I seen it early and I was gonna highlight it, but
shout out to my man from Dubai. Dubai in the house. He said Wilder's getting smashed again.
I wonder how Luis Ortiz and Oscar Rivas are in the top 10.
Simple. There's not too many real quality heavyweights out there when y'all think about it. Like, so there's probably
Joe Joyce should be in there over one of them.
But Joe Joyce only as a heavyweight, Joe Joyce really fought Dubois.
So what?
So you're gonna put him in the top 10 from one fight?
You got Usyk in there?
But no, but Usyk's only in there because you're right. Actually, I can't even make an argument.
Usyk fighting the heavyweight division that's better than
You know what it is? Luis Ortiz got friends in high places.
I doubt it.
No, you know why? He do. Because look, he got the perception of people thinking he ain't fight nobody to get his ranking. And you got to think about it. I feel Usyk accomplished more as heavyweight than Luis Ortiz.
Yeah, true.
He did. He fought better opposition than Luis Ortiz.
Better opposition.
Yo, Derek Chisora is better than anyone Luis Ortiz beat.
I'm going Chisora against Ortiz. Derek Chisora, you can't stand up. Derek will kill Luis Ortiz for the first 4 rounds.
That'd be a good fight. I would like to see that fight.
That'd be a great fight. That'd be a great fight.
Yo, I'm just saying, Derek Chisora to me is a better win than Bryant Jennings. And if I'm not mistaken, Bryant Jennings is like Derek Chisora's sparring partner. But
yeah, but Bryant Jennings, fought Klitschko.
That's fine.
He fought a solid.
Does Chisora fought Vitaly Klitschko?
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
okay, so what?
Both of them dudes is respectable.
Well, nobody has lost closer decisions to the best opposition in the heavyweight division than Derek Ward Chisora.
Right.
Okay? That's what I'm saying.
So like,
should be over Luis Ortiz.
Maybe I just wasn't impressed with Usyk's win over Chisora, dog. But hey, I hate
it. Wasn't hey, Parker's win wasn't impressive, but a win is a win.
Nah, you're right. You're right.
I'm just saying. For me, Usyk got better wins than Luis Ortiz, and I think that Joe Joyce win over Daniel Dubois is better than Oscar Rivas, and also when you look at his pedigree, his background, and where he's trending, Oscar Rivas hasn't had a fight, if I'm not mistaken, since Dillian.
That's what
I think he may have just had a fight. He might have just fought.
I think Alexander Povetkin and Michael Hunter should be ahead of Luis Ortiz.
I agree with that, especially seeing what Povetkin did to Dillian White. I mean,
and they got Luis Ortiz ahead of them guys.
Nah, they had Ortiz over Povetkin.
Look, Ortiz 6.
What number's Povetkin?
6.
Oh, come on.
Sure, this must be an old list, bro. You sure?
Nah, bro. That be the list that they have now. Is Rivas still on that list? Keep going. Let me see. Is Rivas on that list? Did they
Rivas is 9.
See, that's what I'm talking about, man.
Usyk is 10.
Usyk is 10. They got Rivas over Usyk. See?
You see what I'm saying?
They got Rivas over the mandatory title challenger for the WBO. This is, I mean, you can't make it.
Hey, listen, they got Tyson Fury number 1. Then they got AJ. Then it's Deontay Wilder. Then it's Dillian White. Then Joseph Parker, Andy Ruiz.
Yo, Ned, you read this?
Luis Ortiz, Michael Hunter,
Povetkin. Click on that. That blink twice.
Oscar Rivas.
Oh, no. My bad, yeah.
Ned's always being held against as well.
Oh, man.
Unless he's with Claressa.
They might as well have put FA on that list then.
Don't bring up FA. Oh, God.
Let's just relax, I mean, hey, man.
That's the list. Like my man Robert Bailey said, that's the list. They know I ain't lying.
That's crazy, man. I just don't understand.
But we got, what is it? We got a lot of good heavyweight prospects that I'm excited about still. Dubois could still redeem himself. We got
Baby Anderson.
What's the kid that fought Molina recently?
All of those guys are prospects.
I'm saying they're good heavyweight prospects for like the future.
Soon to be on the top 10 list, but right now,
that's what they say.
How come none of y'all mention FA? None of y'all mention FA.
It's like mentioning
FA is not top 10. FA is like that's like mentioning.
FA ain't gonna mess around and be that guy.
FA might get knocked out by Baby Anderson, bro. You know what I'm saying? Baby Anderson might take him out. I think that's what they're setting up to.
I changed my opinion on FA. He can win me over. All he got to do is fight Chris Lovejoy, and he can win me over. Yeah. I'm picking Lovejoy in 4 rounds.
You wild.
Lovejoy gonna walk in that ring,
walk out on his back.
He gonna be jabbed. This is gonna happen, G. He gonna walk in that ring. FA gonna jab him. He gonna walk to the corner, and then FA gonna walk to him. And he gonna fall.
Yo, listen. I'll tell you though, that would be the best build up, cause in the build up, Lovejoy is gonna walk circles around FA.
He gonna talk mad. He gonna talk crazy.
Yo, FA's not gonna be able to keep up with the trash talk from Lovejoy, man.
FA fool for the top 5. He might be fool for the top 10 to keep it on. Homeboy.
Yeah, I think right now FA is fool for the top 10.
Yo, hold up.
Well, I'm being honest.
FA neutral.
Yo, facts. Facts, son.
Nah, FA
don't. Yo, FA, take more time, bro. Don't let them rush your career over there at ESPN, man. Don't let them do you dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Big Baby Miller.
That's crazy.
Love the
He said Big Baby Miller's. Big Baby Miller's
I
not.
say that earlier. I was like, he coming back. He gets sentenced to like 4 years, yo. Like,
Big Baby Miller, see?
oh.
That's why, and I didn't even want to bring this up. But I knew he had something to do with what happened with Jean Pascal. When we seen him at that Floyd press conference.
Oh,
we all should have been worried. Like, why is he there? He shouldn't be allowed to be in the facilities. You see what happened?
A fight, bro.
Pascal contract.
He was there, and then next thing you know, because Jean Pascal was on that undercard,
Mm-hmm. Pascal,
he probably was there to drop off the bag to Jean Pascal.
Pascal,
I just
contact, yo. That's how crazy it is, yo. You know, it was like
it's better than any American.
I just want to say, and I show a lot of love to Anthony Joshua on this channel, but you do realize that Andy Ruiz is American. Anthony Joshua, right? That's why I don't understand when people say that stuff. Just love the boxers, man. You don't have to make it like UK, America, whatever. You know, you forgot about that, huh? You forgot about June 1st. I think, was it 2019? You forgot about that. That was an American that did that to Anthony Joshua in Madison Square Garden. Like, it's not about America. It's not about UK, bro. It's about who can fight.
It's about good fighters on this channel.
I do believe that Deontay Wilder will knock out George Joyce. Just had to throw it out there.
What'd you say?
That Deontay Wilder would knock out George Joyce if they fought. Mm-hmm.
Listen,
he's just too slow. He's just too
I don't know.
No, hold on. This is the stuff.
I don't know, man.
You know where Andy Ruiz is from?
He's from Cali.
He's from California, bro.
He's from California.
He's from California.
He hopped on that bandwagon after the win.
Keep
it 100. He came out to Nipsey.
Yeah, fact. Yeah. To Nipsey when he
came out
to Nipsey. That's what you.
Let's keep it 100. He didn't come out with no Marachi band.
Yo, I'll give you an example, right? Yeah, I just had a conversation with my moms, like on Haitian Mother's Day, right? Yo, my moms don't even consider myself, my brother, any of my cousins, because we were all born in the States. And she goes, "Oh, I mean, y'all parents are Haitian." That's what she says. You know what I mean? Like, she don't even consider us Haitian because we wasn't born over there in that island. You know what I mean? So you gotta understand, like, yeah, he's of Mexican descent, but he's American, fam. Like, you know what I mean? America is what gave him his boxing ability. Gym that he was going to, what? He Mexican.
Yeah, that's the truth. Was it Zuena? Yes, he's Mexican now. After he beat AJ, he became Mexican. Yeah.
He would have just been from California if he lost that fight.
Yeah, that California boy got rolled up.
That's it for playing Nipsey. You know what I mean?
He came out rock playing Nipsey. You know what I mean? That shows you who he was rocking with.
No, but you were saying about your mom, how she doesn't consider you to be Haitian.
Yeah. So it's just like I think it's like, and it's not just Haitians that do this. I think it's like around the world, really. It's like once you're in America, they just view you as American. It's just like, yo, you're an American, fam. But if you do something successful, then everybody starts repping you. You know what I mean? So
I got into a fight. I'm not even gonna bring this up, but it is true. You know what I'm saying? I got in a fight with an African who called me a name. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know why they called you, man. I'm getting nervous now.
Nah,
we don't need it.
yeah, yo, bro, no, he knew what he called me, and I'm like, hey, I thought that we were. You know what I'm saying? He's like, we're not brothers. You're something else. You know what I'm saying? So no, that's not what it means. He's Mexican now after he won.
The thing is, I think what G's touching on is a deeper topic. It's kind of like what happened with Oscar De La Hoya. I see some people bringing it up. So when you are born in the United States of America, some people don't see you as being from that country, and some of our friends will tell us about it. And it happens with a lot of people. So, for example, Mexico didn't see Oscar De La Hoya as a Mexican because he fought for the USA and he was from the USA. And then later on, they adopted him. Because I remember when he was fighting Fernando Vargas, Mexico was with Vargas.
Yeah.
Mexico wasn't with Oscar De La Hoya. And even if you look at F.A. Ajapa and his comments that he made against Anthony Joshua, F.A. says that Anthony Joshua isn't Nigerian. He's, British. So you have people who would say those things. And like he said, his mom understands that she's from Haiti. She knows like she can get off a plane in Haiti and know where to go. She can know what to do. G would be like, Ma, where we going? Yo, take me there. Because G is Americanized. G is Haitian, but he's American. And so some people see it that way. And it doesn't matter what your descent is or where your roots are. Some people are going to see you as it is. Like you look at Danny Garcia, for example.
Oh my goodness. Danny. Nobody ever talks about what they did to poor Danny, yo. Nobody ever talks about what they did to poor Danny, man. And that's another story. You see, we got a lot of untold stories in boxing. But that Danny Garcia is shame on people and a lot of people here in the States. We're not calling Danny. Well, I'm going to let my bro really break it down. But you got to understand the emotion behind that. And when they cheered for Danny when he went to Puerto Rico, he cried. That's why I don't count that fight with Marcus Herrera. Because the emotion before that fight, Danny was about to cry before the fight even took place. Because they were saying he wasn't a true Puerto Rican. And all that crap. They put Danny through hell. Well, go ahead, finish that, my brother.
Well, yeah, it just basically, some people see it as you have to be born there in order to be seen as, say, Puerto Rican. Although Puerto Rico's an American territory. Now think about that. That's how crazy it is. And I'm half Puerto Rican. And it's like, come on, man. Like, people would tell me, like, I'm not Puerto Rican. Now, see, I'm half Puerto Rican, half African American. See, my mom's side, the descendant of slaves. Like I said, you trace my roots back to South Carolina. And my dad is from Puerto Rico. And so, like, I've been told I'm not Puerto Rican. And then I've been told I'm not black. I'm not African American by my African American side. So I said, like, I'm me. To hell with the both of you, right? And then when I got older and I became cool and I became, and everyone want to claim me now. Get over here, papi.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like I was saying, I was like, I'm African American. And the guy was like, don't say you African. You know what I'm saying? He was like, you're not a real African. You know what I'm saying?
You're not an African, you are a kata. You know what I
mean? What little Jacob was saying.
It's deep, self-rooted hatred that's taught to everyone. And it goes even deeper, man. You look at certain things, but what I try to explain to everyone, and that's one of the reasons why I really don't like F.A. Ajapa, Rachel, is the stuff he was saying about Anthony Joshua not being Nigerian. I hate that divisive hate, like that rhetoric that like the police or like anyone's going to see us and be like, oh, he's really, well, nah, I mean, people looking at us seeing the same type of person. Like
the clan see him like, nope. He's not regular black. He's
African he's from Nigeria, so let him go. He's not one of them African. He's not one of those American slaves or whatever. And that's the other thing. We would talk about it like they call me African American because like I'm the descendant of slaves, right? But I never been to Africa. My mom is 100% African American. She never been to Africa, right? Why aren't we just American? You understand? Like,
if you want the answer, I can give you.
I know. Like, I know. You know what I know. The point is to suggest my home is in America.
Exactly.
And that's why when people say, well, why don't you go back to your country, bro? Like, yo.
And we're the only ones that don't be like, oh, we're the only ones that get a stigma put on them. Anybody else is American. They don't say Irish American or you know what I'm saying? Yeah, unless they're from there, you know what I'm saying? But they'll say just American. They'll say Italian American or European American. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because those places in Europe, but they don't say European American. No, they'll say African American. And that's just the labels.
Mm-hmm. Nah, big fan.
Yeah. So I mean, we need to start our other channel.
We 3 hours in
right here.
You know how the podcast be. You know, what I mean, they be watching.
Yeah, anyways, man, we just chopping it up with y'all. We just kicking it like it's just us again. Mm-hmm. We just having conversations. We appreciate everyone. We got love for everyone. Salute. We got a Polish American in the building. At the end of the day, though, like what I'm getting at is. All that shouldn't really like matter.
Polish American, they're gonna say you ain't Polish, you just American.
But like, cause you'll see it if you'll say like, oh, AJ's like Nigerian, they'll be like, oh no, he's from the United Kingdom. Like, yes, he's Nigerian from the United Kingdom. You can be both. Like, you can rep both. And I think like being inclusive, like, you know, that's the thing. You're just being allowed to rep and to rep freely and to understand. Cause like it gets deeper than that. We can go deeper than that. We're not gonna do it here. But like it's just crazy. But yes, in the sport of boxing, that stuff happens as well. Where they say, oh, he's not really Mexican. Yeah. But Andy Ruiz is American. Mexican too. And Mexico should love him. He's really a Mexican because his parents are really Mexican. But he's from California, born in the United States.
Mikey Garcia isn't Mexican.
Well, he's Mexican. He's just born in America.
Born in America, so they.
But he's Mexican. You should really love him. He should be able to rep Mexico, and he should be able to, you know. And then that's the thing. But the thing that's funny is, even in America, they'll still treat him like he's Mexican. So how can you tell him he's not?
Well,
thanks.
Yeah. I don't know, man, but it was a joy kicking it with y'all and kicking boxing with you guys, man.
Yeah. Last half was very entertaining.
That's right, yo, bro. Tell them about the channel that we're gonna be working on soon.
We already told them about it. Let's tell them about it again. So
one more again.
We're gonna tell y'all one more time. Basically, sometimes we get involved in discussions like Kwame Brown. Or other issues that don't involve boxing, and sometimes people will say, well, why don't y'all stick to boxing, just talk about boxing? You know what, we can understand that this is the Boxing Bros, so you're expecting to hear boxing here, but we like to talk about other things sometimes, as you just see, and we just have fun. It's like we're not trying to have any issues, we're just trying to just have beautiful discussions and include everyone. So we're gonna start another channel where we talk about other things besides boxing. It'll be an affiliate of this channel, and then you can tune in if you want. And if you just want us for boxing, you just come right here, and all we're going to discuss on this channel is boxing. So that's coming soon.
Mm-hmm. Boxing Bros, Part 2.
You got to close this out, Trills. Only
right. Already, I was saying, make sure you have nothing left to say. But thank you, everybody, for rocking with us. You already know what it is. I'm the Commissioner Trill Dollar Bill. That's my man, the TBE, and that's my brother, the Conspiracy G, and that's my brother right there, Kaden. And you know who we are. We the Boxing Bros.
Before you close out, I saw, is the show going to be on Sundays as well? No. That we're going to figure out a date for that. We'll let you know.
Please like.